Hey everybody, today's gonna be a PNG sort of day. I'll try to do a cat cam if my cats decide to go near the window. I'm just beat. Oh, let me swap over to my other new screen. Bam. Well, we'll turn down the music a little bit. Let me see, where is... I got my old lady eyes right now. My old MB eyes. There it is. Welcome everybody, welcome. So so this morning I went to feed my cats at like what 3:30 a.m. and I just couldn't fall back asleep. So you have PNG YouTuber me today because I am like struggle busting my like physical energy. I mean, I'm here mentally. It's just my eyes are like, hey, you should probably close these for like a couple minutes. Finishing the last of my cold brew that I had in the fridge. Hopefully this lid stays on properly. But yeah. So I think, is this still too loud? Maybe just down a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So yeah, I kind of like updated my like little performance stuff. Okay. So right now, looking at this, I have Jar, Lyle Convoy, then Jar again. I think what I may do, because I have a stream with Dew today. It's gonna be really fucking fun. So I'm gonna do my best to get through the Jar and the Lyle Convoy video. If I don't get through the second Jar video, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna finish on my own, and then I'm gonna put out like I was gonna do this anyway, but it'll be like including that as well, is like a thoughts video, like kind of my thoughts on the drama. If you made like a little thumbnail for it. Yeah, I'll pull that up. Do I have Canva? Yes, I do. Oh, can't have cat cam right now. Give me 1 second. Oh, and I have to figure out how to set it up. That'll be like a little like test. Is let me see. God. There we go. Bam. Haha, kitty. Looking out the window right now. I did download a bunch of like videos from my phone. So like if I go on BRB, I can just put up some cat videos. I will have to figure that out, but you know, it's a new setup. She's really concentrating out there. Yeah, we're gonna try to get those 2 videos. Yep. And my brain just went, you know, let's just... Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, is it the Family Guy thing, Fauci? Is that someone found like the first, like the pilot of Family Guy? Or is that something else? Oh no. Sorry about that. But yeah. So get through to those 2 videos. Yes, actually. I watched it and I'm like, oh my god, I remember this episode. And I'm just like, oh no, I'm so fucking old. I remember the original pilot of Family Guy. Yeah, the fat kitty. She's very rotund. Kitty. And I mean, that's fucking awesome that like something like that is considered lost can get found like that. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop over to my other screen, and then I'll put Pippi back up on screen. It just will take me a second. So this is my BRB screen. Yeah. I was making some thumbnails for like future either videos or maybe stream. And I'm like, oh, let's try grunge, and then like, oh, hi Blarna. And I just like started going crazy on it. I made 2 thumbnails and then I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna make all these. I'm gonna go to reacts. Bam! Oh, let me hide that bomb thing right there. You guys shouldn't be seeing that right at the moment. I have to work on a commission thing and I'm the tight window right now. Let me see, where is it? Oh no. We're gonna get the cat back. There we go. Right. Kitty back. Kitty right here. Oh yeah, so this is the thumbnail I made for like my thoughts Spoctor drama saga. That'd be like a cute thing to have like a small like little maybe companion video afterwards, kind of give like my complete thoughts on it. Probably the first one's probably not perfect. I'm probably gonna make mistakes. So if people care to watch that, like give me their like sort of like critiques on if I'm like being a dum-dum, because I'm literally reacting to something that's like into past, and I can be a bit more critical than I should give like a bit of grace to some things. I appreciate that. But that probably will be this video probably won't be out until like sometime next week, the following week, just because I got a lot of editing I needed to get done and commission shit I need to get done. I'm gonna drink. I don't have my water in here, god damn it. It's okay. Okay. Step away for let me step away for like 2 seconds, grab my water, and I'll be right back. I'll just stay on the screen so you can just watch Pippi. Hopefully she doesn't follow me. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back. Alright. So, what I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna need to adjust my blender just so I can hide like most of what I'm doing. And I'm gonna work on like some 3D modeling while we react to Jar, which I haven't watched like a Jar video. Sorry, a Jar video in like forever. God, I think like the last one was the city video. Sydney. Oh my god. Words are escaping me right now. I guess like the Cindy Bear one and maybe his like ooh woo feel bad for me video. Besides like all the call, basically like the calls with Jar that we've been subject to since his response video. Oh my god. Let me see. Okay. Post that. Wait. Oh boy, isn't this a lovely face? Okay. Let me just start for a second. Ugh. Let's make sure. Yes, Kyrez, I have seen his grooming a kid video. I've seen like the OG where he has the robot voice for some fucking reason. It's fucking as tasteless as PK Russell with Spoctor's map video. Which fucking I didn't remember that video when I first saw it. Oh, that was technically a more innocent time. I didn't know what map fucking meant when I watched that Spoctor PK Russell video. Also, I may don't judge me too harshly. I may play some Xenoblade Chronicles X because that came out like 2 days ago, and I've like just made a character and just started playing it. So like, if I'm too tired to do 3D modeling, then I'm gonna be doing that. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, the chat is working. Holy shit. Okay, I need to... One more thing. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna start the video, and then I'm gonna fix chat, because you're up there, but you're green, so no one can see you. I'm not... Let chat my window big so I can see. No, you're black, that's why. Oh no, I make you white. Okay. So I can see you guys. This is still kind of a work in progress. I do have like an alternate version of this that is like black and white that isn't like orange and red. I thought, oh, I'll start with this one today. Okay, let me start it to make sure my audio is working properly. Okay, like this.
New microphone. Tell me what you think of it. Should I stick with it or just go back to the old one? Anyways, today we're gonna go over the king of the slideshow commentary community himself, Spoctor. Or should I say, former king of the slideshow commentary community. Because as some of you already know, he recently uploaded a video saying he's quitting commentary altogether. But why? Is it because of Linlin's and Heaton's videos on him? Is it because of his The Idea video?
Oh, Linlin.
Or because he's finding more success in his IRL job? Maybe it's because of the Hopeless Pizzas drama. Well, I don't know for sure. I think it's a
Okay. I just... Is this the Hopeless Peaches drama involving Lio, or is this a completely different Hopeless Peaches drama? Just let me know, because like I'm gonna be catching up. It's just gonna take me a hot minute.
Combination of a bunch of things and not just one big thing. But before I go any further, I think I need to explain to you who Spoctor is, because I got a lot of new subscribers who are probably out of the loop. Spoctor started out in the DeviantArt ranting community. A community started by Sonic 93.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kyrez. I appreciate it.
I've done a few videos on, and you should totally go check those out. One of them was with Spoctor, ironically. The one time I can remember collabing with him. And he was friends with other DeviantArt ranters, like Lulubell, The Name's Junkie, Faghost, Chaos55T, and others. Ironically, all of them have been canceled one way or another. Mostly because they came after me. All but Faghost, he got canceled.
For real? Is he just making it about himself? Like, actually, the reason I like people are canceled because because of me, because I'm so cool. Okay,
from something else. Maybe that's one of the reasons as to why Spoctor quit. He saw all of his friends get butt-fucked, and I guess he thought he was up next on the chopping block.
Okay.
He grew bigger and faster than most people in the DeviantArt ranting community through his videos on Birdie, animation memes, and talking about storytime animators. Remember when that was like a huge thing? Even I did that. Eventually, he became both the biggest ranter and commentator to ever use an avatar. At this point, he was king. He was on top of the world. He was invincible! But then, Spoctor had to deal with his first big bit of controversy. Stories in Pentagon. Names that are infamous all over this corner of the internet. came up with a plan to take Spoctor down by using false allegations against him and uploading their videos all at once. This caused the bandwagon to start against Spoctor,
Okay, so we're
and
getting
many of his
a-
friends turned on him. Dozens of videos were uploaded mocking him. He lost thousands of subscribers. But then, when all hope was lost, everything turned around. Several commentators like Ponder Sprocket, PK Russell, Manga Common, me, and a few others all came out to defend him. And this yet could be another reason as to why Spoctor quit. What happened to him was 100% for sure traumatizing. Sure, I've also received false pedo allegations, along with false racism allegations and somehow false...
yeah. Yes. Yes, sir. False racism allegations. Beep, beep. That is too kitty. You get down, I can't see you. Okay, let me go back to
murder allegations. But none of those false allegations were spread to the same level as to what Spoctor had to deal with. There are still people to this day who believe the false allegations spread about him. By the way, everyone, if someone receives pedo allegations and they're still uploading on YouTube without receiving dislike bombs on all of their recently uploaded content, then those allegations are most likely false. But false allegations do come with a silver lining. It's pretty much the best, worst thing that can happen to you on YouTube. In layman terms, being falsely accused and surviving it basically gives you an overshield. People become a lot less critical of what you say. People are not looking to take you down because, well, look what happened to the last.
Okay. Sadly, Kitty has left us, so I'm gonna close the video for now. When she comes back, I'll definitely put it back up. Let me look at chat. Okay, remember the order of events as Spoctor, Mandem, CK, Toby, Peaches, Creepshow, Spoctor again, Senate, Los Peaches, Attacking Lyle, and the burning of Senate, Never in Jar. Okay, I'm gonna let me open up a notepad like an old person, and I'm gonna take that what you said, Kyrez, with your name, so I can attribute that to you. Save that. If I can open I can get my mouse to open the sticky note properly. Okay. I'll do that. Copy that. Save that. Just so I can keep it straight. Like, I technically should have like a notepad down so I can keep track of this shit. Anyway.
Ask people who tried that. You're given a lot of free passes, and people are more empathetic to you. The Stories in Pentagon drama was seen as the biggest drama this community ever had to deal with, until the Toby / Hopeless Peaches / Creepshow art drama happened, but we'll get getting to that a little later. After Stories in Pentagon were thoroughly and utterly debunked, many people took down their videos they made on Spoctor, and apologized to him. Well, everyone, except for a certain blue pony named Fran. Fran only took down her video for damage control, and her apology was just god-awful.
And a lot of people said that I made the video for views. I never make a video for views. I never do. I just enjoy talking about
bullshit.
things. Everyone was agreeing with me, but then as soon as Ponder Sprocket uploaded that video, everyone started to bombard me, and you know that really shows the mob mentality. And in my opinion, those people that bombarded my comment section thought the exact same thing as me.
It's over here.
Ponder uploaded that video. The people that like made all these videos and stuff, we thought he was a pedophile. That's not something to be taken lightly. This is the internet. The internet is not his entire life. He can go outside and get a job or something. Like,
okay, thank you, Tusky.
His persona on the internet is not his entire life. He can easily come back to any other community, or even this community again, as someone else. He can disguise himself as someone else, and nobody will know because
like
he's disguising
Char
himself as Spoctor Theory.
Fran was bashed by Spoctor, Ponder, and Heaton Mitsuru. The last of those three got into a bit of controversy, being called out by Doodle Tones and Gwist.
Oh no, not Doodle Tones!
Oh my god. Showing private DMs between Chunky and Fran. Oh. Yeah, this was apparently a big issue back then. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't really agree with DMs being shared, but I personally think Heaton got way more backlash than they deserved. Maybe I'm missing something here. If Doodle would like to come on and explain things, well then, she's more than welcome to.
So that's
Oh
the ulterior
god.
motive to getting me to edit this part of the video. God damn it, Jar, I don't got the time for this. Alright, hello, hi, I'm Doodle Tones, slideshow commentator, and not
Oh
a
my god.
DeviantArt ranter.
Now, shortly after I started my Just a Robot persona, I quickly fell back into the old
Yep,
commentary
yeah,
group
this
I
is
was a
easy.
part of.
Yep.
You know, the small ones with people like Doodle Tones, Icy Hazard, the name's Junkie. Yep, because of the Doodle Tones drama and the Icy Hazard drama, I got sucked back into the old community that used to shun me.
Seriously, call Spoctor a slideshow commentator and call me a DeviantArt ranter? This shit's so backwards. Anyway, so I'm here to tell you all about a drama that happened solely within the slideshow commentary
What the fuck is this game?
incredibly small and niche community of commentators that focus on critiquing, debunking, and arguing individual videos
So
over talking
AIDS.
about whole topics. We're usually seen as the pettier, more unnecessary of the commentary communities, but we're weird in that we like critiquing videos. It's fun, and we usually don't have big outbursts like the other communities do. Our drama is usually pretty contained. That said, no one's immune to stupid, and we in the SEC definitely had our moment in 2018 following the wrap-up of the drama surrounding Spoctor, which Jar kinda already touched on, but there's definitely context here he's missing out on. To explain, we have to go back before Atari Pentagrin and Stories made their videos to a couple videos made on the more broader scope of the DeviantArt ranting community by users SimplyDad and YoYo3635, now known as Squid Slushy. Both these videos
Oh my
contain
god.
general criticisms of the DeviantArt ranting community at the time. SimplyDad's video goes over a variety of topics ranging from taking trolls seriously to letting smaller commentators get under your skin, which was then followed by a whole thing about humiliation, to trying to escape criticism by acting like you never did anything bad in your whole career, to biases that audience will have listening to their favorite content creator. You know, very generic talking points when talking about critics you don't really much care for. I've heard these same criticisms pointed at a variety of creators about a dozen times in the 7 years that I've been a commentator. It's just kind of whatever. It's not a great video, but I'd be pressed to call it the worst of the two. That goes to Yo-Yo's, the much more important of the two, because Yo-Yo's video was out to spill tea more directly under the guise of more generalized criticism of the community. Specifically,
I'm sorry guys, I'm
mainstream-
not talking about do this. I'm just like trying to understand what they're saying. Cause this fucking voice changer is just like, excuse me, person, what did you think? Like, okay, let's get back to it. Sorry, that was like some lame ass commentary, but I'm just like, I'm trying. Trying to understand what they're saying to me.
You know, before we all collectively realized that he's a coward. Look, I've got my hangups with Junkie. If the last video that I was on with Jar says anything, I think the dude's got stuff to address and apologize for, but Yo-Yo's video was really bad at covering him. And while there's a lot more I could say about that video, I don't want to drag out Jar's video more than I have to. So if you want more info, I'll direct you to the other commentating robot who did this exact video before Jar did, as Pink Robot goes more in detail about these two videos. That said, I will point out the important segment in Yo-Yo's video relating to one Deltora251, who, after being shouted out in a Junkie video, turned around and just generally talked mad shit about Junkie in the comments to SimplyDad's video, saying that she didn't really need his approval to do what she was doing, which pissed off Junkie, and personally I'd say understandably so, because it's just generally
Yeah,
rude
but-
to be praised like that, and not just not accept it, but get actively upset that you were praised to begin with. Like, it's not even like Junkie was necessarily condescending in his shout out.
A question for all of you. Do you ever see a channel that first came out and wasn't that impressive at first, but suddenly they just explode in quality? Well, that's pretty much what happened with Del Toro. She made her channel based on this character who, nothing against you, Del Toro, wasn't the greatest, well, looks-wise, to a much better looking and more eye-catching persona. She's more consistent with her upload schedule. From what I can tell, they upload regularly.
Like, I don't know if anyone else here watches Zentrea, but Zentrea basically does do text-to-speech for all of her streamings. Like, she doesn't like let her real voice be known, and like I'm fine with that. Like, that doesn't sound bad to me. It's just like This specific, like, the way that it sound reminds me of a former client who had a voice changer. I won't say names for obvious reasons. And it just fucking triggers the shit out of me, and I'm just like, ugh. Oh, hi, Olivia.
On a 2-week basis. I personally think that's an okay threshold for creating and uploading content.
Less for dramatic effect, because good reviews simply don't sell, and it is the bad, horrific, and atrocious OCs that take the hit and rake in the most views and subscribers.
That's true, Kairos.
Dragons.
That's true.
I approve of this. Now, why is she at number 3 and not higher? Well, it's mainly because she just got back into YouTube and remade a lot of her content. But hey, that's a good thing. It shows that she's willing to learn and better herself. So, when you get the chance, check her out. You will not regret it.
Like, I'm so unsure as to where Del Toro's hostility...
I'm doing okay, Olivia. I'm just a little tired because I don't know why I couldn't fall back asleep. I'll also, a side note, you can tell me I'm wrong, but I feel like going back to ACC stuff, it feels kind of like, for the audience at least, like they're experiencing someone's new reaction to everything. Cause like, it's like watching like your favorite movie and then showing it to your friends and be like, oh, how are they gonna react to this movie? You can tell me I'm wrong, but I kind of get that feeling. Like, I get that feeling when someone plays Final Fantasy 14 for the first time. I'm like, oh, I have to watch them play it and see when they get to the part that I like and see how they react to it.
about this comes from. Anyway, back on track. This pissed Junkie off, to which led into him venting in Ponder Sprocket's private chat, The Fiendish Cavern, where an ex-commentator, Autumn Kohai, talked about maybe doing a video on Del Toro. Junkie then followed that up, trying to hype up Autumn with an, albeit maybe overly emotional, fucking annihilate her comment.
And the most shocking thing to me was that there was another person in the server he was talking with who mentioned how they wanted to make a rant video on Del Toro, and
He's
Junkie,
back.
Word for word, said fucking annihilate her.
I remember when we found out about Yo-Yo getting her hands on that screenshot because she wasn't in Ponder's chat at the time, so someone had to leak that to her. I did a video pointing that out at the time as it was fucking sketchy, not helped by how out of context the screenshot itself was. I think anyone in the right mind would call this out, and it was this event that led to what happened later. Twofold, actually. Because, on the one hand, if you remember, one of the allegations against Spoctor during the Pentagon and Atari videos was that Spoctor was very supportive of porn of his fursona, scalesona, whatever you call it. I'm not a furry. Well, it was actually Yo-Yo who initially brought that up, putting a spotlight on Spoctor at the tail end of the video. Like, the very, very tail end of the video. Like, post-credits.
Does anyone else find it kind of weird that Spoctor is underage and very open about that fact, yet openly encourages very sexually suggestive and explicit art of his characters? Like, just some food for thought.
It's, fun fact, actually where Pentagon and Story's videos even stemmed from to begin with, as sourced by Mimi Diggs during a Ponder Sprocket video. Yeah, this wasn't even something I
Okay, so we're getting another element that Ponder didn't.
Pointed out these individual things, and I just kind of connected the dots. It makes a lot of sense when you really look at it that way. Anyway, the second thing that happened from this situation was that I was expected to keep to that standard, because previously that year, I was held under a microscope being a walking contradiction. And when Heaton's video came out and she called out Fran under the guise of faking an anxiety attack, I'd figured a video had to be made. Not helped by the words of a certain other ex-commentator telling me Heaton's video was toxic. I made sure to reach out to Junkie before jumping to conclusions, or at least to make sure that the screen cap was used with permission, and he had told me something along the lines of him not knowing a video was even going to be made. Something that he apparently also told the other person who jumped on Heaton's case about that video, Next Gwissman, who later confirmed this to be the case in a follow-up video about the situation.
So the thing is that Luxter here, might as well call him Luxter the Lifesaver for helping me figure this out so quick, brought up a good point of, you don't think there might have been a chance you were wrong there? And that's a very good point. Didn't you all wonder why I assumed that, with so much uncertainty, especially with another similar possibility where I said I didn't know about that for certain? Well, the truth is, I actually did consult Junkie about this. I know, I didn't want to tell you that either. He didn't want more drama, so I didn't bring it up in the prior video. The thing is that I asked him if he did get permission from Heaton to show the DMs and all. I gave him a yes or no question, he gave me a vague answer about it, and I interpreted it as a no.
So this led Gwis and I into doing our videos. Both sucked. I'd argue his was significantly worse, but that doesn't detract from the badness of my own video.
With the Spoctor drama, like, the only person of that I watched was, like, back then was I watched, like, a little bit of Spoctor and PK Russell, but, like I explained on the ops, I fucking stopped watching PK Russell when he, like, showed his bare hole ass and balls on fucking Twitter for New Year's, and I'm like, yep, I'm done with this asshole. This is something that just ruined my year, and it didn't even start yet. Make me shrink the key a little bit just because the subtitles are getting cut off. Fucking, I didn't even watch. I think I didn't even watch Just a Robot. I only knew about Just a Robot from so I used to watch Actual Jake on Twitch. He would react to him. I thought, like, God, this voice changer robot thing was so fucking terrible. Oh, yeah. Besides, like, D'Angelo Wallace's video on PK Russell, which it was like 5 years ago. Jesus Christ.
And it's not really a competition, because my video's still pretty bad. But we did these videos under the notion that this was a repeat of the yo-yo situation that happened just months prior, and we wanted to keep consistency. So we both got on Heaton's case.
You guys saw you at some point. I just don't remember.
It wasn't that bad, and in actuality, Junkie actually gave Heaton full permission to use the screenshot of the conversation between he and Fran. And he only confessed to lying to me in DMs only after Heaton had already gotten in trouble for her video, and she decidedly had cut off the rest of the slideshow commentary community. Years later, and Heaton and I patched things up, we're friends again, but I still feel terrible about it all myself. Gwis, I imagine, has no regrets for his involvement, considering the rant he made on the community like a year or two after the fact, where he pretended he was never a part of the community to begin with.
See, I've known some people that have vented to me about—
Question. I know I'm pausing for the dumbest fucking what game is Doodle Tones playing? It looks like worse Roblox. Sorry.
Drama involving an obscure corner of the internet, and it's given me a lot of stories to tell you about it. And let me tell you, if I was in this
Karis. I was on Tumblr too, but I didn't really get involved in any of the drama there. I just posted art.
Finally eat a bag of dicks, Gwis. I see the Freedom Trail has done you no good. Anyway, I hope this gives a bit more insight to this particular drama, because might as well be an SCC member that shares a bit of forbidden knowledge with you all at what goes on in that community. No one else would have known about it otherwise, because no one else seems to know this community exists. Anyway, I'm gonna let Jar get back to his video. I've talked your ears off enough. Hope you guys enjoy.
Now you see, while sharing private DMs isn't really the best thing to do, Junkie made Fran seem 10 times worse by saying, "Oh, I shared those DMs with Heaton in confidence, not knowing what they would have been used for. I never expected them to use it in a video." So Junkie threw Heaton under the bus and they disappeared from the internet for quite a while. Now why am I bringing this up? Well, it will be important later. Just put a pin in it for now. So Spoctor continued to grow on YouTube, going over the Madame drama, the Sonic 93 drama, but most of all, the Yandere Dev drama.
Oh no,
fuck,
not
did
Yandere
those videos
Dev.
blow up. But then it happened. A drama so massive, and with so many people involved. A drama with more alliances, backstabbing, and lies than any other drama before. For this corner of the internet happened. The Toby/Hopeless Peaches/Creepshow art drama. If you want a rundown of this drama, you can check out my second video on Junkie that I did with Doodle Tones. The first quarter of that video basically
I know that's probably gonna be the next one I go at. Even though Salt recommended fucking Retro Router, I think I probably much ACC stuff. I basically have like my ACC slots filled. Yeah.
Caps everything you need to know about the Toby/Hopeless Peaches/Creepshow art drama. And if you want a long deep dive that goes over everything you could possibly need to know about the drama, check out Cecil's McFly's video.
1.5.
Spoctor was just about the last person to make a video about the Toby drama, and if I can be completely honest, I have a lot of problems with it, but a lot of people also like it, and to be fair, the problems I have with it aren't really important for this video, so I'll skip it for now. And while the other videos on the Toby drama were big, Spoctor's was by far the biggest. I know I can't really compare it to any other videos on the Toby drama because they've all been taken down for one reason or another, but the point is, Spoctor waited patiently, joined the winning side, and got really rewarded for it. His subs and his reputation skyrocketed. And while he was already friends with people like Junkie and Creepshow, now he was also friends with Kai and Omnia. And if you already knew what happened to Spoctor's old friends, along with his new friends, well, with friends like these, who needs enemies, am I right? Spoctor uploaded a video about the Hopeless Peaches situation, but unlike the Toby drama, the situation was still ongoing. So he did and said a few things that, really didn't age all too well. For example, in his thumbnail, he used something from Peach's video where she was talking about her experience being groomed. And he also used the clip from her grooming video when he was talking about her being extremely bad at relationship management. Oh yeah, he also shouldn't say she should talk about her suicidal ideation and focus more on her public image. What's very interesting to me is that Omnia was constantly criticized for using Peach's grooming video in her thumbnail, but Spoctor does the same thing and, for the most part, he's ignored.
I can't help but hold like a suspicious and skeptical taste in my mouth as I see creator after creator being dogpiled on for things they've done that are definitely worth criticism nonetheless, but absolutely blown out of proportion.
Huh, isn't it funny that the videos he showed are from Omnia and Prison Mate Luke, who both have been cancelled down and up, along with Creepshow and Kai. Now obviously, I do have the benefit of hindsight, and Spoctor doesn't in this video, but isn't it amazing that the people who were winning in both the Toby and Hopeless Peaches drama all got revealed to be terrible people? Not just one or two, all of them.
It's intense. Now, before you click away, before you dislike, just hear me out. This isn't some preachy piece on any of the content creators that are...
Yeah, like... Okay. I'm following along. Is this the Jar thing where he mentions other drama that he's been a part of and tying it into the main drama he should be talking about? I just want to make sure, like, I'm not missing, like, connecting threads. Or all these dramas are related to the Spoctor drama. A, is he just talking about his old drama shit? Or B, is it actually tied in? Maybe say it like that, just because I know sometimes I ask two questions. And I'm impatient. I don't like to wait for the answer. Let's drink some water real quick. Okay. Go back to this.
Making videos on Hopeless Peaches. This is an analysis, I'd like to say, for the content itself and the whole situation as a whole.
Now, how this reads to me is that Spoctor thinks that the drama around Hopeless Peaches is blown way out of proportion, but obviously he's afraid of Creepshow Luke and the others, and I can't really blame him. Like during the Toby drama, when people were against Kai and Omnia, they pointed out a few of Toby's flaws, but mostly defended her from claims
get some music in the background as well as you listen to Jar.
Like Luke and Thuman could just say, "Oh my God, people are full on defending."
Okay,
Toby,
thank you, Unknown. That kind of helps a bit.
Because they're small black YouTubers, and no one to this day has even covered Nani's video, yet she got a crap ton of dislikes. But Spoctor spends most of the video bashing Hopeless.
Why does it matter that they're Black Jar? Why does it matter that they're Black Jar?
Made by Luke and claims made by Camilla. And believe it or not, he still got backlash from people saying he went too soft on Hopeless Peaches.
Hopeless Peaches is under a lot of fire right now for what I can gather, being intensely bad at relationship management.
Oh no, Spoctor, no! So for those of you who don't know, Spoctor is using B-roll footage from Peach's video about her experience being groomed, right as he says she's intensely bad at relationship management. Now sure, this could just be an oversight, but it's a pretty fucking bad oversight. Now by the off chance that this was intentional, bro, that's super fucked up. If you have to go after Peaches so you can defend some of the claims against her so people will actually listen to your video, I get that, but this really fucking crosses the line.
There are a lot of people that compare her actions to Toby, that of which I would disagree.
Jar saying something crosses the line.
Mental instability all the fucking damn time. It looks like a fucking excuse, but she absolutely shouldn't do it. It's true, she should not do that. However, I feel it strives more from her inability to keep things to herself and put up that emotional barrier that she needs in order to keep her public image clear.
Yeah, she did it a full 2 times in 2 years. Wow. The bullshit to English translation is, Peaches should not post about her personal problems so much, so people don't use it against her. But, hot take here, maybe the real assholes are the ones who are taking it out of context and blowing it out of proportion to use it against her. Like, I get what Spoctor is trying to say, but it's
alleged grooming.
Mentality. For the very few times I've been emotionally vulnerable on my channel, I've had it used against me.
Look, the thing I've learned so far is when someone says alleged grooming, it's like, okay, so there's like grooming because I don't like you, and so you are a groomer, and then there is actual grooming, which happens in the ACC to a shocking extent. Like, where are your parents? Where are the police? How come no one is like putting two to two? Oh my god, 2 and 2 together about like like fucking filthy three. Where are your parents? The old lady going like, sorry, old MB going, well, where are your parents? My parents didn't let me be alone on the internet that long. They'd be like, come down to dinner, and then like I'm like, all right.
With a few hate comments here and there every now and then, but Peaches got canceled harder than fucking Kiro the Wolf for something basically everyone does.
And since I'm bringing it up, the topic of race was constantly mentioned throughout the Toby drama, and I tried my best to steer clear of talking too much about that, simply because I felt as though it was unimportant to the original meaning of the criticism on Toby, and I argued that the discussion of race was far too amplified, and I still do stand by what I said given the context and the impression that I had. However, as things develop, more, and I've talked to a lot more people, specifically people of color creators themselves, I've come to further realize why the conversation became so racially charged. I've gotten a clear understanding where things strive from, and from a personal viewpoint, considering I've grown up in a mixed bag and I've never really experienced racism firsthand, so that's just the bubble I've grew in, so I never truly understood it, and I do apologize if it appears as though I was dismissing the racial conversation.
Well, that's a lot of word salad that really doesn't mean anything. Like, I can guess a few reasons as to why the Toby drama was so racially motivated, but Spoctor doesn't explain why. He just said he was informed by people without explaining what they told him. But in Spoctor's Toby video, he was pretty much 100% on the side of the people who were against Toby, aka the people who were winning. But this very slight disagreement about race he had with the winning people was enough to get him bashed. Like, with the benefit of hindsight, it's easy for most people to say, Kai, Omnia, Creepshow, and Luke are all bitches. But people forget just how much control and influence they had over the narrative back then. This whole thing he's saying about the Toby drama should have nothing to do with the Peaches drama, but he still has to apologize because, well, Kai, Omnia, Luke, and Creepshow really love to make people walk on eggshells. So yeah, this is further proof that Spoctor is clearly nervous to make this video.
That was not my intention. My intention was to make the other creators realize that Omnia and Kai still had fucking merit in what they were saying, and that what they were doing, criticizing them, was the wrong move.
I guess this would be a good place to insert that John Tron joke about that one didn't age quite so well. Like, obviously now we have the benefit of hindsight, but yeah, Kai and Omnia have been canceled down and up. Like, this isn't about Spoctor, but I really hate this whole narrative of Kai and Omnia were good in the Toby drama, but later they became bad people. Do you think people went after Kai and Omnia during the Toby drama because they tried to talk things out with them and Kai and Omnia pissed them off? Or they just offended Toby because Kai and Omnia were black, or they were friends with Toby or something? You want to hear one of the examples of one of those big YouTubers who quote-unquote went after Kai and Omnia? Well, it was Miss ZZ. What did she do? She called Kai a simp. Yep, that's it. She just called Kai a simp in a comment.
The initial spike of the Hopeless Peaches criticism comes from one of Prison Make Luke's videos. Why is the Toby drama still going on? Where near the end, he spent a reasonable portion of his video criticizing Hopeless Peaches for involving herself in the drama throughout the comments.
Okay, let me get this straight. He spent a reasonable portion of his video criticizing Peaches because she left a few comments. She didn't make a video about the situation, she just left a few comments, and Luke called her a sewer slide baiter because of it.
Calls her out for using mental health in a similar fashion that Toby did.
And she's been doing this for a long time. It's very manipulative, and she's always using her mental health as a pity-me card, which is funny since she called out Toby for doing the same thing.
Which, I mean, yeah, using mental health for—
I'm sorry, the whole, like, I'm alive, and this is making it funny. Oh my god, that got me. Oh. I'm fucking stupid.
Pity is kind of a yikes moment.
You know what? I think Spoctor is right about this situation. If this doesn't prove that Kai and Omnia were the real victims in the Toby drama, then I don't know what will. Well, according to the internet, you're right, Spoctor, because using mental health for pity me points is a yikes moment. You should only use other things for pity points, like race, gender, sexuality, and other things like that. But let's read the comment Luke put up
so
on
cringe, Jar.
Just gonna give up on following the drama. It's emotionally exhausting, and I have been in a constant stress state for a while now. Gonna just private and do other stuff. for a while. Holy shit, if that's not using your mental health to get pity me points, then I don't know what is, folks.
Also specifically Creepshow.
Okay, this is not a point against Spoctor, but holy shit was Creepshow art growing fast. She gained 100,000 subscribers from the start of the Peaches drama all the way to the point where she got canceled. But at least she had more subs back then than what she does now. So Spoctor goes on.
I mean, Creepshow doesn't have a channel anymore as far as I know.
Blames her more, yada yada. And I was gonna go over these clips, but it really dragged out the video and I was really just repeating myself. But then he says something that I could not believe he actually got away with for so long.
I'd say just please stop posting to Twitter and using it to output so much emotional torment. It will cause you so many issues overall and will do more harm than good because there's thousands of people who might see that and twist it and get the wrong idea. I don't want to assume that you were suicide baiting, but I also want you to know that. It's fucked up for the people around you to make the mori like that, to spread pain and fear like that, despite if you're planning on going through with it or not.
Okay, throughout this video, I've been trying to give Spoctor the benefit of the doubt and see things from his point of view. And I also was trying to be goofy throughout this video to, you know, entertain the people watching it. But when he said, even when you're willing to go through with offing yourself, you should keep it to yourself and not let your audience know, that was just fucked up. Even if you didn't know the full story, even if you weren't fully on Peach's side.
I mean, yeah, I can get that, Karis. It does feel very much like, at the moment, like he's trying to defend Peaches just for like the crumb of clout he can get from them, like going like, "Oh, thank you for defending me, Jar." Herp, derp, herp, herp. That's just my guess. Anyways, back to the video.
Afraid to speak your mind. Absolutely fucking none of it excuses what you said here. I'm glad you fucking took down this video, but you owe her and lots of other people an apology.
And I know that might be a controversial opinion because it's very unpopular, but that's my personal beliefs.
Dude, I'm autistic, and even if I had an opinion like that, I would keep it to myself.
He exclaims that Peaches was furthering the drama by venting her frustrations out of her possibly inaccurate portrayal of her suicide baiting, which she was obviously very over-emotional about.
Luke called her a suicide baiter. Peaches approached him in a very diplomatic way, so he decided to make a video starting a huge bandwagon against her. How the fuck was Peaches being over-emotional about it?
And Luke, I wouldn't argue she was furthering the drama. I would rather argue that she's extremely over-emotional about what you said in your video, which is definitely a fault on her end, and it's its own criticism. And I feel like she should have just tried to move past it calmly instead of being aggressively upset about it.
Now, I guess you could make the argument that maybe Spoctor fell for Luke's lies, and he didn't read the screenshots that Luke put up like a lot of other people did. But here's the thing, Spoctor's video came out after Millie Malware's video. Maybe he didn't see it, except for the fact that I sent him the video. Here's the proof for it. Millie Malware went over how Luke twisted the narrative, and
Millie Malware drop or okay.
Overly...
Is he trying to say Mally Malware, and he's fucking up her name again, like in the call? I just need to know in case there's a Millie Malware and a Mally Malware. And I didn't know that.
Emotional. Did Luke really have to make an entire video on her and then make another one? And she wasn't even overly emotional, goddamn. So Spoctor goes on to debunk some of the false narrative created about Hopeless Peaches, and
thank you, Kairos. I appreciate that.
A gold star for that. Is what I would say if Spoctor didn't do everything in his power to still paint Peaches in a bad light and be as gentle as he possibly can with prison mate Luke.
Your argument here is overdrawn, Luke. She was not lying. That's not what I see here. The main thing I see here is Peaches being irresponsible with her emotional output, being unable to chill out, to calm down, to try to keep her emotions to herself, which is an extremely different criticism entirely.
Spoctor, Luke is lying. You should bash him for it. And let's just say he's just stupid and he's not actually lying. Well, because you didn't make a follow-up video clearing up the misinformation after your video came out, then it doesn't matter if he's lying or not. He's still spreading a false narrative, and you should have bashed him for it. It shocks me that Spoctor never ever made a video calling prison mate Luke out. I guess it's because the drama around Luke wasn't actually that big. It was more of a death by 1,000 cuts situation. It didn't blow up in the same fashion that the Kai drama, the Toby drama, the Hopeless Peaches drama, the Creepshow art drama, and a lot of the other dramas that you covered did. It makes me just the least bit suspicious.
But this accusation also isn't thrown at Peaches either. Peaches also exclaims that Luke was trying to lie to people as well, or lying about his interpretations of what she said. Another point that I don't feel is true. I don't believe Luke's attempting to lie. That's not what's going on here. He was just interpreting things wrong, something that isn't good nonetheless, but he's definitely not lying. Nobody lied here.
I've already explained why whether he lied or not doesn't really matter, but you can't say for certain that prison mate Luke definitely didn't lie. That's way too charitable of an interpretation to give him.
For example, when she feels like she's being stalked, that wasn't an attack on you by any means. It could feel that way, given your context, but I'm reading that so much differently.
Yes, given Luke's out of context, it does look that way. Unless, of course, you read what he put up on screen.
However, Luke wasn't entirely wrong throughout his video. He made a few solid points.
She said how creators and fans were harassing her, when I know of no one besides myself that called her out, and I haven't talked to her since my blocking. And if any of my fans did that, I'm sorry, but she's overblowing the backlash she got, and the criticism she's got is only due to her actions during the Toby drama.
Yes, she's overblowing the fuck out of things.
How is Peaches the one blowing this situation up? At this point in time, she only made...
Okay, I was like, how the fuck does he mess up Lyle Convoy's voice? His name. He keeps on calling him like his daddy to come save him. Why the fuck would you fuck up the person that's supposed to like come and save you every fucking time you screw up? Oh my god.
One video about it, but Luke, Omnia, Kai, Creepshow, and
Such
the others
disrespect.
have made at bare minimum at least 2 videos.
I said this before, but you're absolutely broken as a person, and you don't know how to treat people well because of it.
Okay, we're done here. I had a lot more clips from this video that I wanted to go over, but I think you guys get the idea. Now, Spoctor later made a follow-up
I don't know, Jar. Maybe you should go on about it longer. And we don't have to go back to the Spoctor stuff. We can just talk about this dumb shit for the next, like, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Better, I'll give it that. But in my humble opinion, he still doesn't paint Peaches in a charitable enough light, and he's way too easy on her opposition.
Stuff like this isn't really easy to cover because there isn't really a bad guy, only bad actions.
Really? Not even Luke? Like, I understand Creepshow Art, Kai, and Omnia got exposed later on, but Luke around this time still didn't fix any of the mistakes he made. I think that deserves at least a little scrutiny.
Believe it or not, there are people who didn't like my Hopeless Peaches video.
No,
more than
shit.
you know, Spoctor. A lot of this video is just Spoctor saying a
Did I
bunch
fuck
of
up
word
this?
salad that sounds nice, but doesn't really mean anything. Saying a few things that really didn't age all too well, and defending himself from people like Harley and Hopeless Peaches' friends. And he also gives an apology to Peaches that was, let's just be nice and say, less than adequate.
And so I went hard on Peaches to make sure that people understood this wasn't a blind defense. I wanted to do that so people understood I could see their side. Generally, you need to tame the other side, but you also want to let them know you can understand their end of it. And so I had a bit of a harsh tone on Peaches, a little harsher than I needed to, and I apologize for that.
But the biggest problem with this video is how soft Spoctor is on Creepshow Art. Now granted, the lolcow leaks didn't happen yet. Spoctor says he's not going to go after Peaches for the claims Creepshow Art made about her, but he's also not going to go after Creepshow because both of them don't have evidence. But the thing is, Peaches needed evidence to prove a negative. Creepshow was just making claims. If she had no evidence to back them up, they should have been immediately doubted. But then, after the lolcow leaks happened, Spoctor did a video on Creepshow Art. So this would be the perfect time for Spoctor to bash Creepshow Art for what she did to Peaches, and go over the things that she probably made up about her. Well, here's every clip from that video where he mentions Peaches.
And with that I say, go support Peaches. She needs some right now. Unless I missed something or Shannon was a bitch privately, Peaches is a sensitive baby and Shannon is retarded. Of which I read to you just now, talking about other creators like Peaches, Creepshow Art, D'Angelo Wallace, and okay, shit, man. Creepshow had been caught fueling a fire before the Hopeless Peaches situation even started, basically ramping it up and preparing for it to blow up. Redirecting the conversations to other creators, other people like Peaches, Creepshow. Creepshow wished to throw others under the bus. Where things get really interesting is when Hopeless Peaches gets into the picture. When Hopeless Peaches started vague tweeting about Creepshow, Creepshow took it upon herself to kind of throw that into the forum and essentially push the narrative that Peaches is being a little brat. This is where I get somewhat confused because this is where things start to delve into volatile behavior. And this is when we start to see Creepshow's indicative nature. Her desire to seek revenge appears to be quite strong when referring to people who've angered her or people who frustrated her. The issue is, however, I believe she
I
knows
don't
she
blame
can't
you if
be
you don't
indicative
know.
like this on her actual
It's
platform.
okay.
And opts
This
to do
is
it
a
on forums
lot.
instead. It honestly doesn't surprise me. Being a vindictive person is very common among people with Creepshow's personality type. Sassy, emotionally driven, impulsive. Creepshow in the forums basically guides the conversation by nudging the rest of the participants in the right direction as to what's going on, basically not allowing them to make incorrect assumptions about the situation between Peaches and Creepshow. Creepshow gives her side on these forums, but the most interesting part about this, however, is that despite knowing Peaches for a long time before, you know, even mentioning her in the forums, this is the first time that she's been brought up in the forums.
Okay. I don't know if I missed that for a second. These forums that he's talking about, are these important to know about? Again, I like a bunch of messages on my phone. I'm like closing them because they keep on distracting me. Okay. Okay, so you go back here. Sorry. Oh, okay. So just in 4chan? About 4chan? Okay. I've been slightly intrigued by this, so there's what I could tell. Peaches got mad at Shannon a month or so ago because Shannon made a video on PK Russell where she said criticism has been a hotel didn't matter. And oh god, PK Russell's has been hotel video. That one was fucking rough. I remember when that came out. picking. It's obvious she didn't watch the video because she is lazy. She publicly said Shannon was being rude and didn't do research, but Shannon apologized publicly and somehow was praised for it by the people who she offended. Then this month, Shannon does the Jacqueline Hill video, and then she starts posting about being disappointed in her idol and starts saying shit like she's mudslinging as well as not tagging her idol, Shannon. Shannon seems unbothered or simply doesn't notice because she's our slur and posts that Women's Day post about how they are friends and she is like her mini-me. This causes Peach to freak out and follow her on both her private account and public account and starts talking shit about her. Shan notices and seems upset but doesn't do anything. Peaches sorry. Peaches keeps talking shit to the point where people are calling it out, but it's not pretending she isn't doing that. Okay, unless I missed something or Shannon was a bitch privately, Peaches is a sensitive baby and Shannon is our slur. Okay. Oh, lol, Calforms. Okay, thank you. Excuse me. I never been on 4chan. I was like a something awful person. I guess you'd say I was like basically on like the gaming forums and something awful, and that's where I like hanged out. The Let's Play gaming forums.
Very clear now that Peaches was dealing with someone who also wasn't really quite as stable as they make themselves out to be.
Ultimately not terrible.
Thank you, Kyrez. I appreciate your help.
That he was wrong about Peaches. And also at this point in time, he still left up his first video on Peaches. Ultimately, despite how much Spoctor did wrong, he was still in a pretty good position. If he just continued to go on his merry little way, he would have probably gotten away with, well, all of it. But then he made a video that is now unlisted about how his former community was falling apart. And this is really what I think was the beginning of the end. For the most part, this video is actually pretty good, until he starts talking about the name's Junkie.
Ranting is doing a video on a whim because sometimes it's funny to just talk your heart out at something that angers you.
Okay, another bit of B footage that, oh god, really wasn't put in the best place. Yeah, I guess it is funny to talk your heart out about someone who backstabbed you and made your time on YouTube way harder than it ever needed to be.
You wonder why people are trying to ruin one another in this community. It's because of this mindset that anger and wrath wins. Oh boy, you lied to people. To the gulag you go! Forget the good you did for people. Forget the fact that you basically built the foundation of my channel and helped me get on my feet, Junkie. You lied about people, and someone decided to out you for it. It's time to crucify you and make you walk on eggshells.
Well, Junkie isn't really being forced to walk on eggshells. He's being called out for backstabbing a lot of people in the community. What Luke, Creepshow, and the others were doing was making people walk on eggshells. Madlibs makes a vague subtweet that wasn't even about them. Well, she's a part of the drama now. What's that? She's upset that she's now part of the drama? How dare she? She's reviving it. Oh my god, Miss CZ called Kai a simp. Oh dear god! Like Junkie literally said she needed to apologize for that.
I mean, look at the video calling him out.
I don't want your disingenuous, half-hearted, slimy, bitch boy apology.
That's no way to treat people on a platform.
You know, this is something I think I've noticed that no one else has pointed out yet. Heaton calling Junkie a bitch boy is apparently no way to talk about another creator on this platform. But he's completely okay with Luke calling Peaches a sewer slide baiter and starting a whole bandwagon against her. Now, once again, originally I had way more to say about this video, but if I went over it, I think this video would drag and I would just be repeating what Pink Robot and Heaton Mitsuru said.
Basically, he told a bunch of mini white lies about people. Something like, he gave people permission to share certain DMs in a video, and then immediately lied about it when it got him in trouble, basically throwing someone else under the bus.
I don't really have a problem with Spoctor saying this, but pay attention to when he said many white lies. Trust me, it's gonna be important later.
But if the shit that came out about me back in 2018 was more along the lines of what Junkie's being outed for right now, I would not have any ground to stand on.
Well, hindsight is 20/20, isn't it? Oh god, I don't think Spoctor knows how not wrong he is at this moment.
So when people come at me and come and try and criticize me for not entirely defending Peaches because I've, quote, been through something similar, I really haven't. Because you weren't being called a predator.
Well, I've been falsely accused of being a predator, but I still don't think
Oh, shut up, Jar. No one cares about you.
Situation. Just like how your and Peaches situations are not one-to-one comparisons. When people say your two situations were similar, they're not saying they were exactly the same. She was getting slandered just like you were. Like if people defended you, Spoctor, in the same way you defended Peaches in your first video, I don't think you would be all that happy about it. Yes, what you were being accused of was far worse than what she was being accused of, but they were still both false allegations.
I got away with being a shithead for 2 years because 3 creators decided to accuse me of the wrong wrong thing.
No argument here. Now, I did have a few more things I wanted to say about this video, but Heaton Mitsuru and Pink Robot already went over it, and I don't want to steal their thunder. So I would highly recommend checking their videos out, especially Heaton's video. Speaking of Heaton's video, let's play a few clips from it.
Hello there, my lovely Legionnaires. I wish that this was something a little more fun, but the first few commentary videos back aren't gonna be the best. However, I've given our resident lizard enough time to set the record straight, but I guess a Lily's Garden video is more important than correcting a mistake about my character. I'd like to say I'm disappointed, but in order for that to be true, I'd have to be surprised.
So it should be noted that Spoctor was planning to make a follow-up video about his junkie video.
One second. I didn't ask earlier. So he mentioned Pink Robot. Someone in the chat mentioned Pink Robot. Is Pink Robot like a completely separate person? Because for some reason I thought Pink Robot was Robot was laid to Doodle Tones. I need that straightened out for me, because like I feel like I was like getting a little bit lost in the sauce, and I was just like, okay, what is going on? Okay, look good. White, so you can't really see the texture. Make everything brown. Elf. Oh, sorry, we went back to a second.
He made reference to it in his pinned comment, and he even
okay.
talked about it on a record.
Okay, thank you. Because I really haven't heard of someone named Pink Robot until like just this video, and I don't know if they're like another person with a deep, dark, interconnected drama past that I have to like make sure I keep an eye out for.
Call that we'll be getting into a little bit later, and I believe he also told me that in a call, but I don't have evidence for that, so take that part with a grain of salt. But month after month after month, he never made that follow-up video until people called him out for it.
The thing the CC got on me for during that debacle was leaking private DMs between him and Fran. I was a backstabber, duplicitous, untrustworthy. Did none of you think about how I got those screenshots? He gave them to me. I found out where all of these assumptions were coming from. Junkie had been actively lying to people and telling them that he had no idea I would use his screenshots. This low-life cherry gecko had thrown me under the axle at the slightest sign of danger. Wow, that was fucking quick. Yeah, let's play the whole clip, huh? I'm gonna speed it up. It's a little long. You may remember that the thing the CC got on me for during that debacle was leaking private DMs between him and Fran. I was a backstabber, duplicitous, untrustworthy. Did none of you think about how I got those screenshots? Did you think I hacked him and took them myself? No, he gave them to me. I asked him if I could use them, and he said yes. I sent him my script. I published my video. So I started getting attacked from all sides, by friends, colleagues, and a particular rat bitch. I had no idea why people were just assuming that I had done something considered so horrible and...
No, we'll get to it together. Lavender. I have it 1.25 speed.
Wildly paranoid that the people in my life thought I was so awful, and that they were more okay with the idea that I had taken someone's personal testimony without their consent than with just asking me if that was true. It ruined a lot of my friends.
Okay, that was close. For I had like the high-res texture on.
It started the rat bitch saga, which lost me more friends. I'm not going to talk about that today. It caused me to be isolated and targeted by a whole community of people.
Okay, the rat bitch saga, is that the only rat I know is Nezzy Monster? Is that related to Nezzy Monster? Or is that someone else? Or that it don't like that doesn't even matter. Like ignore it. Someone else's personal drama. It's fucking whatever.
Cared about me. I lost it a little. I'm not ashamed to admit, my parents talked about me going onto the ward. I never did, thank God, but shit did get dark.
Oh.
And I had no idea at the time why. And then Gwiz came around. When Gwiz's video about this came out, I found out where all of these assumptions were coming from. Junkie had been actively lying to people and telling them that he had no idea I would use his screenshots. This low-life cherry gecko had thrown me under the axle at the slightest sign of danger. I was furious. I sent screenshots of our DMs to a couple of friends. I told anyone who would listen. I talked constantly about the fact that he was full of shit.
It's okay. It's like it's okay.
Now he agreed to let me use the screenshots, but he didn't know what for. Despite the fact that I'd immediately followed his confirmation by sending him my script. Yeah, this was one of the parts that actively fucking floored me. I cannot believe that you would actually cut out the context of what happened to make Junkie seem less harmful. This is fucking vile. It wasn't a mini white lie. It was an intentional and repeated deceit to keep his image clean when he was just as in it as the rest of us, and it's fucked that you would try to paint it as otherwise.
Okay, I know that was a long clip, but I did get permission from Heaton to use it. Now, could Spoctor have taken them out of context accidentally? Possibly, but as I continue this video, you'll see that it's more likely that he purposely took it out of context. Anyways, now let's move on to the conversation Spoctor had with Aaron Tempest.
So I got around to watching the video last night, and I'm not pleased with the section related to Junkie. Specifically, I don't like how you framed Heaton's video regarding Junkie. Now, I am aware that you don't know what happens in our neck of the woods, so I won't blame you for not knowing what happened. When Heaton's second video on Fran came out, a couple of now former commentators took issue with Heaton's tone and the fact that she was using Junkie screenshots because it wasn't clear if Heaton got permission to use them or not. Now, as we know, Junkie did give Heaton permission to use those screenshots, so instead of just telling the truth, Junkie said that he didn't give permission, leading to a months-long drama where a couple of well-respected commentators publicly called out and caught ties with Heaton for something she didn't even do. One of those commentators was even given info from Junkie directly to use in their video against Heaton. It wasn't just that Junkie told little white lies to people about the screenshots as you implied. He actively gave people ammo to use against Heaton because he felt threatened when he realistically shouldn't have been. No one took issue with Junkie's behavior in the screenshots because, as I noted at the time, they were the exact same screenshots you used in your video on Fran, which came out on the same day, and no one even complained or noticed. And, to add insult to injury, while Junkie was very quick to issue a public apology during the Yo-Yo 3639 drama, for things he didn't need to apologize for, he, to this day, has refused to publicly acknowledge or apologize to Heaton. Now, I know you didn't have ill intent with this, but presenting Heaton's video as you did came off as tone policing, if not dismissive, because not only did you not know or present the full scope of the situation, but you didn't even finish the first clip you played where Heaton didn't want an apology because she would go on to say that all she wanted was accountability. Sorry for the long post, and I hope I didn't come off as too aggressive here. I just had to get this off my chest.
Interesting. That is something I didn't know actually about the screenshots. I still feel like the
I guess we'll see.
is quite brash. It's something I'm quite actively against when it comes to approaching situations. My focus on that clip was the visceral insults that Heaton threw, not the context within those insults, aka bitch boy apology. I understand why it was like that, but it's never served me any good in the long run personally. At least publicly. Haha. Thanks for the input though. I honestly don't hate Heaton or anything. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that specific mindset.
I'm glad you clarified your position. The situation with Heaton and Junkie is a lot more complicated than it appears to be, and from what I'm seeing, people have tried to downplay what happened between them in earnest. Personally, after watching the fallout of Junkie's lies play out in real time, I don't blame Heaton for the insults, especially when he refused to correct his mistake for a good 3 years now. But we can agree to disagree on that front. While we're here, I wanted to bring up when you said you might have deserved what Pentagram and Stories did to you. I highly disagree. You might have deserved to be called out for what you actually did, but no one deserves to be falsely accused, especially not in the way they did it.
Thank you, huh? Means a lot. We had to dip back into this side of things.
No kidding. It was a dark time for a lot of people, and Junkie was only the tip of the iceberg.
They're in a dark place.
I hadn't realized.
There was a lot of backstabbing involved during that, and no one wanted to make it public in fear that the situation would get worse. I don't even fully know the details. I believe Heaton was the first to come public about parts of the whole thing.
I mean,
but there are still things that she kept.
Okay, if you don't fully know the details, then why we're hearing your opinion? I'm just asking. If you don't know what's completely going on, why are you giving your 2 cents to this? Okay, this is just so. Chair's kind of fucked up. This is just no. Don't need to sit the legs. Okay. Pretend that isn't there. We're just gonna. Yes, we're gonna stretch it out a little bit. There you go. Okay.
Private for the sake of other parties. To be clear, I don't fault you for not knowing. I don't even have all the details, and I was watching the whole thing go down closely. However, outside parties have come out of the woodwork to make assumptions about the whole thing and get onto Heaton's case for overreacting, which ironically is what started the entire drama in the first place.
You're right.
You might want to make like a pinned comment about this or reach out to Heaton directly to clear the air if possible.
Okay, I'll make my own comment here. Because I agree, I really don't want Heaton to be a focus point. You're watching the video, it's actually pretty clear I didn't focus on Junkie as much as I thought I did.
Very well. Could you join me and talk to Postus for the moment?
Sure.
So let's take that apart, shall we?
Alright, now the only thing we have left to see is the call between Spoctor, Aaron, and a few other people.
Alright, this was telling me you guys had some stuff you wanted to fill me in on. I might do a little follow-up video on my not video, but the video for that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have to turn this down. That's they sped that up. What? Okay.
The three of us have been kind of like following the fallout essentially of Eaton's video. So the four purposes, would it be okay if we had this all recorded? So we can have a record. All right.
Isn't it funny that Spoctor and Junkie both got in trouble because they had calls that they knew were being recorded, but at the very least, Spoctor didn't refer to it as blackmail like Junkie did, so I guess he's a little better in that regard.
In this case, just jumping back to the white lies part, in this case, Junkie's intent is kind of really clear on that front. His intent was he thought that he would receive heat.
Yeah, he was throwing heat under.
Oh no, Olivia!
That's something I did state in the video.
Don't have any like
And I would
heavy
also
cream
like
or half and half.
To reaffirm, just definition-wise, it wouldn't be considered a white lie because there was that intent behind it. Because
hang on, now you're making me look up the definition. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, harmless. Oh wait, hang on. I used the wrong word there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Like I could see from an outsider perspective, like in actuality, if
okay.
you, like divorce it.
I thought
from
white lies was the
bigger
opposite.
picture. No.
Oh.
Side coffee talk. I bought like an oat milk creamer for my cold brew. So like, I've probably told this before. I have like a KitchenAid like cold brew thingy I use to make cold brew, which I really like. I did have issues in the past where my roommate accidentally knocked it and hit the spout, and the whole entire fridge was filled with coffee. So that was not ideal. But like other than that, it works pretty well. And I usually like let my coffee brew over like a day or two, because I do not like hot coffee. It's too bitter for me. Well, yeah, I do. Hi, Q. I have it. She's sleeping right now. I haven't had actually I figure. Wait, I know she's awake now. No. Yeah. And no, you don't have to give me. I'm not doing treat goals. They have their breakfasts. Like an hour and 30 minutes.
No, I'm just stupid. What the fuck? Hang on. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. White.
No,
lies
it's
would not be
Pippi.
the
Q.
right,
It's Pippi.
Word to use.
Tommy's in the bedroom.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I figured because a lot of.
I thought white lies meant the opposite. Maybe we'll say black lies. How about that?
What?
Stick to a regular lie.
Oh my god.
It's just a lie. It was just a lie. It was a lie. I mean, that's kind of the main thing I was trying to say. I guess white lies would not have been the proper word to use. I didn't even realize when I put it in the script. I thought white lies meant something else. It goes to show how good I know the English language sometimes.
You're in America, and it's fine.
So there's two options here.
Here in America, it's fine.
Either you used a term you didn't know the definition of, which I don't buy considering how ubiquitous the term white lies are, or you're lying to my friends' faces. Now, I said before—
Look. He's not even 18. He's fucking stupid. People can get words wrong. Chill the fuck out. Not everything is a conspiracy.
that I was more in line to believe the latter, considering, well, it's not what you said in the video, is it?
Basically, he told a bunch of mini white lies about people.
Okay.
So you're really gonna claim that you thought it meant a big lie when you called them mini in your video? Mini big lies?
So this is why I said earlier that it's more than likely that Spoctor took Heaton out of context purposely. Because now, thanks to this really awful lie, it's hard to trust him. Like, I'm not saying this puts him on the same level as John Swan or anything, but it's such an awful lie. Now, I have no proof for this, so don't take my word on it, but I had an unrecorded call with Spoctor where I asked him about the whole using Peach's grooming video as soon as he said she's bad at relationship management. What he said to me was, well, I didn't actually see that video. You downloaded a video you didn't see and used it as stock footage? That seems weird.
It's like the more holes that start to form, or things that don't add up, it can completely warp.
Oh, okay, thank you, Kairos.
Of what actually happened.
I'm very aware of that, yeah.
Well, evidently not, considering the circumstances. God, it's so irritating to hear Aaron try and get something through to him, and then just have it ping off his skull like a marble. You know how bad information can spread? Yeah, I bet you do. So why are you spreading it? Why are you going into a situation that, giving you the benefit of the doubt, you ran into half-cocked? You fucked this whole thing up, and now you're just gonna sit here with your condescending little chuckles like you're not kickstarting the same shit, except for me this time.
And that's all of Heaton's video that I'm willing to show. Again, if you want to see the full thing, link down below. I highly recommend you go check it out. But Heaton wasn't the only one who made a video on Spoctor. Lin did as well.
Oh,
to be fair,
it's
it was
some
a very
Persona
good
music.
video. Doodle Tones has done a pretty good job already covering it, and Lin has already taken it down. But all of this, plus Spoctor's DID video, which was received extremely poorly. No, I'm not going to go over it. He took it down pretty quickly. And I'm also not an expert on mental illness. He made a video called Leaving the Commentary Community. Now, I'm not going to talk about it that much, but half of it is dedicated to talking about Lin. He does apologize, which, good on you, but he doesn't do it at the start. Like, when I came to Spoctor about responding to Luke's Toby video, he told me no matter what, I should put the apology at the start of the video. Know who else did that? Hopeless Peaches. But I guess responding to a small YouTuber who's 16 was more important to him than apologizing. The only section of this video that I want to talk about is when he says this.
I've already been speaking to Common about the whole thing. We've been chatting.
So yeah, even Manga Common reached out to Spoctor.
Oh, Manga Common's in this. Okay.
Well, I reached out to him, Aaron reached out to him, and I'm sure a few others reached out to him. If you've been watching this video in full up to this point, you probably think Spoctor is kind of a bad guy. But the thing is, everybody looks like a bad person if you take all their mistakes and line them up in a row.
Ultimately, this video is
Oh yeah, Jar, would you say that about yourself?
A community that went down a slope of not even understanding themselves. And a community that quite possibly failed to realize that mistakes are human, and mistake is a key to human improvement, and a key to self-reflection. Some people need to learn this the hard way, and others learn it over time. In this case, it's a lesson of friendship, the value and the vulnerability of it.
Yes, he fucked up with the Hopeless Peaches situation, but so did I and a lot of other people. He fucked up when he talked about Junkie, so me and Aaron reached out to him. And we did this because, well, Spoctor is human and is bound to make mistakes.
I love
but
motorcycles.
He seemed to continue to make mistakes more and more frequently. Several people reached out to him so he would fix these mistakes, and he just ignored them for a very long time. After getting called out publicly, he removed his Junkie video, and I believe he also changed the thumbnail on his Hopeless Peaches video. His apology wasn't the best, but it was better than Omnia's or Luke's. He actually seemed like he knew what he was apologizing for. And if this is where everything ended, I probably wouldn't be making this video. But Leo Convoy and Hopeless Peaches reached out to Spoctor, and they had a recorded call with him. And it was just the most cringy shit I've ever heard in my life.
Would you know? Would you know, Jar, what cringe is?
Why can't I hear anything?
Oh, damn. Can I be heard?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, wait. There we go. That's why. Hello.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
My voice meter was being funny.
Oh, I see. Awesome. Okay. Right, yeah. So, obviously,
Okay, we're gonna speed this up.
I'll be recording. So that's fine. Oh, lovely.
Okay.
So I was gonna ask you, oh, right. I was gonna ask you, like, a few questions on a few different things. That's alright. So, I'm sorry.
What kind of questions you got for me?
Oh my god.
And obviously,
Okay, this is not super long.
this will be more of like a general conversation. I've more got it because I'm really shit at remembering where I'm going.
Alright.
But, I was gonna just ask, like, generally start it off, like, why you left commentary.
Why I left commentary? That's a good question. I guess it's kind of important to note. You know?
Okay.
But yeah, one of the biggest reasons is just kind of I'm tired. I've been wanting to do it for years.
Yeah, because I know that you've said that you wanted to do it, like, a while, but then you never quite did. Like, you mentioned that you made, like, a post about it in, like,
like February. That you
February.
wanted to do commentary, and then
Yeah.
in your video on Junkie.
Okay,
you also
okay,
said,
okay,
like,
okay,
your
okay,
former
2x, okay.
community.
I mean, yeah.
So,
I still
like,
consider it a former community.
Yeah, so like, what pushed you to actually finally leave?
Do 1.7
well,
just so I can make sure I understand it.
I think it's like I said, it's been a decision I've been thinking on for a long time. But I guess one of the main indicators for me was that it was time to leave. Was, I mean, some of the slack I was getting for some of my videos, but then at the same regard, like that was just a nail in the coffin for me. But I think what made me realize I wanted to start quitting was when I started relying on my medication to actually create videos. It wasn't as fun as it used to be.
Okay, so like some of the slack that you were getting on some of the videos, that like how did that affect that? Was that kind of the negativity of it, or is that more realizing that you?
I mean, it's the negative. I mean, it's a mix of both, you know. Like, I'm not a big fan of negativity. I know it's funny coming from me, but in my personal life, I try to be very cut, dry, and positive all the time, and it doesn't really translate well into the medium. And I mean, obviously, in order to kind of get clicks, you gotta be a little bit aggressive, and I've just slowly started.
I'm just speeding my
dwindling
breakfast
my sanity
while this
to
is
try and
going.
maintain the aggressiveness I used to have.
Yeah, because the videos that you make, you don't have to be aggressive, so to speak.
No, I try not to be. Like overall.
Cause alright, cause then I'm gonna ask to really cut into more of the proper stuff that I want to talk about now. You mentioned videos, like some of your
okay,
videos
thank you,
inside
unknown.
in
Do I
particular.
need to turn it up more
Oh, I
or
didn't
down?
it's plural.
What?
Just mean like if there is a video / videos.
I mean, you've seen them. I mean, the DID video is pretty big one. But yeah, like, I mean, overall, like, I've seen a lot of negativity on some of my creep show commentary. I've seen negativity on, I've seen it on your commentary that I did on you. It's all over the place. But the DID video,
I have
kind
a
of
cherry
like
turnover. I just finished.
the big what's the word I'm looking for? It was the big realization, because I honestly put that video together like to the best of my ability. I interviewed people, I talked to people with the disorder, I talked to people who were in therapy for it, and I genuinely uploaded
Thank
it
you,
with the notion
unknown.
that, like,
I'll try to
this
hit
video
that
is,
as soon as
you know,
possible.
like, this is one of my better videos. And then
Wait, comes an issue.
ended up talking with a bunch of other people in the community and completely 180'd my perspective on that, like during that month break that I was just not signing onto YouTube.
So you say that the DID video and the
Yes.
and the negativity you got from that was like one of the main reasons why you felt like that was like the final nail in the coffin, kind of reason to leave,
Yes.
kind of all that stuff. Then why was Lin the main focus of your leaving commentary video?
Because she was wrong.
I mean, there's a difference between, like, we'll get into that in a sec, but regardless of whether they made the best video ever or worst video ever, if you're leaving commentary first and foremost, wouldn't you rather want to speak on the things that you think that you should say rather than what a 16-year-old thinks of you?
No, they said some pretty bad things about me. I kind of wanted to talk about it.
Because, like, you literally start your video, like, literally 13 seconds in, saying that you want to clear the air and explain why you're leaving commentary, and immediately cut to talking about Linlin's video.
Yeah, I don't want them thinking that Linlin's video is the reason I'm leaving.
And then why was Linlin's the main focus of your leaving commentary video?
Because she greatly mischaracterized me.
Would you like to elaborate? Because you
I
didn't.
think
watched
Doodle's
the
video did a great job of it.
Okay.
A side note, because I think most people in here were around at last night's stream with Beckett. Fucking Lin calling Beckett like a 2 N-word step away from becoming a fascist. I mean, like, him going, "Oh, Lin just talk down on my character." I'm like, I mean, you know nothing about them, yeah. Like, I just learned that yesterday, so I don't doubt it.
Well, I'm not asking what Doodle Tones thinks. I'm asking what you think.
Huh?
I'm asking not what Doodle Tones thinks.
No, shit. What the fuck?
Are you alright?
Yeah, sorry.
You sounded like you got run over by a train.
I think my voice meter started being weird.
Very weird.
What? Hello?
Oh my god.
Everything's breaking on your end, I have to say.
Okay, I can hear. Okay, there we go. Hi.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, have you turned your voice meter off?
No.
I think you need to.
No, I'm good.
You think this is funny?
Yes.
Why?
I do.
No, why?
Okay.
Because I don't care.
You don't care. Do you know what we're here talking
No,
about?
not really.
You don't care. What are we here talking about?
Oh, I hope that
I don't
saved
know.
your ears, chat. I was
have
trying
no
to
idea
make
what
sure
you're
it
talking
did.
about. I have made a few mistakes, and I'm not going to be put through the ringer for it.
Who's putting you through a ringer?
You.
Me? I'm from Miracle Park. Just in your
Yes.
Okay, tell me how I'm putting you through the ringer.
You guys, let me elaborate.
Sure.
You guys are literally about to make a whole ass video on some like superstitious shit. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Who's you guys and what
I
video?
don't care anymore.
Who's you guys and what video are you talking about?
I don't take this seriously.
Didn't you tweet about it?
Me? No. I didn't tweet anything about a video.
You talking about me?
Yeah, Peaches. You tweeted about it.
Because I said I may make a video, but then I thought, hey, I'll ask you for your perspective. At least be able to talk to you.
Makes you seem
not
God.
asking my perspective. You're interviewing me, and you're just asking questions you know the answer to.
Yeah, because I want to know genuinely what your point of everything is. Because your video is very short, and I would like to talk to you properly, not only just about the things I'm starting off with, but other things as well. Wouldn't you find
what other
it
things?
Well, I can skip through if you don't want to talk about this anymore.
I just want a synopsis. What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about some of the other
blame
ways
him
you've
for.
covered
I
and the
don't.
other ways you've handled other things that are a little more troublesome than your DID video.
I don't blame him for being paranoid after the whole like being falsely accused of shit in the past.
That's why the video is not up anymore.
And are you not paying attention to what I'm saying to you?
You said my DID video in the video.
No, I said we're going to talk about more than just your DID video. We're going to talk about other content.
Okay.
So if you're coming in here just to be flippant and be sarcastic, I mean, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. We're not here to drill you specifically about your DID video. We're here to talk to you about some of your content.
Okay.
So what's the purpose of all these shenanigans exactly?
Let me just put it this way. You're talking to someone who has nothing to lose. I've stopped caring about YouTube. I've heard a lot of terrible things about you guys from other creators, and I quite literally don't want to deal with your bullshit. How about that?
What BS have you heard?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it does. Because if your friends are sitting there crying about things you have no real evidence for, I think that's kind of silly, don't you?
Evidence? I'm not outing you. I'm not outing you.
You don't have to out somebody. What have you heard?
My shit's all fucked up right now. I don't know why.
I mean, it's sort of based on what I've heard, what I've seen, and how I've been treated. So I'm not
treated by whom?
Really in the mood to.
Treated by whom? Because this is the first time I've spoken to you.
It's not the first time I've seen you in my comments.
I'm sure it's not, but this is the first time I've spoken to you. So what have I said to you? How have I mistreated you?
This is the first time you've spoken to me.
Yes, directly. This is the first time I've spoken to you. So what have I said to you that you think is so abhorrent?
Good question. DID. What does he mean by DID? Is that like a person, a subject? Like, I'm not familiar with it. I don't. I'm pretty sure I was paying attention. I don't remember them elaborating what DID meant. I'm like, Jar, you're gonna go through so much trouble to like make these videos. Please, at least put like a little asterisk. You're gonna fucking some like mention something, and someone probably doesn't know what it means. Okay, anyways.
I mean, I could pull up the comment, but I really don't care.
No, you do care. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking like this. What did I say that you find so egregious?
You guys have a great day. I don't care.
Well, that went fabulous.
That's fine. That's exactly who he is.
I mean, like, okay. Actually, fucking, I'm not gonna say base Spoctor, but I'm like fucking gonna say like, hey, you don't want to be in the convo, fucking leave. That's what like a lot of these people need to do. Is just, you don't want to be in the convo, just fucking leave. Oh, dissociative. Okay, thank you, Lavender. I wasn't sure. Because, like, DID is, like, an acronym I use at my work for, like... And I'm just like, does it mean daily identifier? Is that what it means? Because my brain is just fucking poisoned by work for right now.
It was horrific.
That could have been worse. Let's hop out of this. We can talk independently.
Oh my god, that was bad. The worst part was when he crumpled the bag of wheat thins. Now I want to make it clear that before Linlin's video dropped, Spoctor told me that he was thinking about quitting YouTube. I told him if he wants to, he can, but he should wait until after December. I mean, come on, Christmas ads. You make like half your money on YouTube during the last 3 months. And I do think he would have taken my advice, but Linlin's video, Heaton's video, and everything else that was happening to him, I guess sped up the process into him leaving. I don't think Spoctor is an irredeemable asshole like Creepshow, Prismate Luke, Kai, Omnia, Junkie, and a few others. Maybe he thought he was invincible and he could keep getting away with things like this. Maybe he didn't understand the harm his actions caused. Maybe he felt the need to defend people like Junkie, Kai, Creepshow, and now that they were all gone, he felt alone. Maybe because of the stories and Pentagon drama, he was really paranoid and he just didn't trust people. It could be some of these things, all of these things, or none of these things. But what I find to be the funniest thing of all is that if Pentagon and stories didn't go after Spoctor, Fran would have never gone after Spoctor, and she wouldn't have made that god-awful apology. And if she never made that video, Heaton would have never covered it. And if Heaton never covered it, Junkie wouldn't have backstabbed Heaton, causing them to get cancelled. And if Junkie never did that, Heaton wouldn't have made their video on him, and Spoctor wouldn't have tone policed Heaton and played down Junkie's actions. And if Spoctor never did that, Heaton would have never called Spoctor out, which was the final straw which broke the camel's back. So in a way, due to very specific events, stories of Pentagon did take Spoctor down, and I just find that to be fucking hilarious. If Spoctor wants to leave commentary, that's totally fine with me, but I really think he should address the situation and understand
It's
that—
like, this is a fucking web of names. I'm just like, where are we falling down now, guys?
But somebody's out to get him.
There's one thing I try not to be, and it's a two-faced little prick. It's why more people came forward. It's because I did have a lot of people that disliked me, and I just didn't know how to handle that. If you're honest about who you are and the people you communicate with, it really, really shouldn't be an issue when little things like this get out. Stop fucking up. Because at this rate, you're not going to go anywhere by focusing on what others did wrong. It's a common repeat. Take a look at yourself. Let this be a wake-up call. Just make us proud. That's all we want. That's not a way to live your life.
Sunday morning, vacant doorway, wipe the sun.
Okay. Okay. You got through that. Okay, and let's see. And we are on to the Lyle okay, so we have Lyle Convoy, and then we have the other draw one. So, Lyle Convoy. Okay. Ignore that.
Special thanks to my patrons, and feel free to join the community Discord linked in the description. The commentary community is an odd place. While there are going to be a lot of
wait.
Discord linked in the description. The commentary community is.
Oh, Wing Gundam. Oh man. Okay, I'm here for it.
An odd place. While there are going to be a lot of deranged one-offs or terminally online parasocial lunatics, there's also a few good people in it too. One major issue the community as a whole has, to say nothing about the entirety of humanity, is a problem with consistent morals. Not just in the sense of holding others accountable, but themselves as well. Many times, people get thrown under the bus for the sake of another friendship. Of course, these aren't really friendships. It's just social climbing. Feeding into the mob mentality without putting your values first. Ignoring simple right and wrong. All
that side thing to take it like small breathing. One thing I find very adorable about Pippi is sometimes she'll just start cleaning herself and she'll just lift her foot and forget that she has it up. Oh, she's not doing it right now, but like so she'll just leave that foot up as she does other things and then just forget about it. I did brush her a bunch yesterday because she's a big girl, so it's hard for her to get her like her back. So like I brushed a whole other cat out of her back. I have like this really bad habit of accidentally hiding her brush after I brush her, and I'm like, fuck, where'd I put it? I have to hunt for it every time. I don't know why I do that to myself. You're a good kitty. You're a good kitty. Okay, back to you, sorry. Cat autist time.
with the aim of making sure you're on the right side of a conflict. Or the larger side.
You said chunky baby.
No one exemplifies it more than today's subject, Spoctor Tech.
If I didn't look like
I highly recommend a video by YouTuber Aaron Tempest.
Sorry. If I didn't look like ass, I would actually go like pick her up and show it to the camera, but like I look like ass today. Also, I haven't shown my like face on stream, and I'm just like I'd rather do that after I get a haircut. Right now, I look like my hair's like Falgi's before he got his haircut, where it's just like all like pulled back and like all kind of messy.
It's well constructed, well edited, and very entertaining. So if you want to know about Spoctor's overall history, go there after this one. The link's in the
I had that one. There we go. And that one right here. Which I think if I didn't want to go through the Ponder one, I would probably go through that one, but I already went through the Ponder one, so you know.
Spoctor's been caught in a lot of nonsense he's pulled, only being called out recently for it. One could understand not wanting to come at Spoctor due to him getting lambasted in 2018 for false allegations. False allegations are definitely an issue, so I can understand some hesitance. Some. But not this much. Because for a community that's so well known for picking apart every piece of someone's argument, it seems they either miss, or choose to miss, the actual important things. Like this.
And you put way too much focus on the wrongs of others when you should have also looked at yourself as well. It's a pattern people have seen. Someone upsets you, you run away. You vent the frustrations in an irresponsible way. Stop doing it. Stop that. You have a lot of real personal issues that you need to iron out with yourself before you consider making personal relationships with people in the community again. You need to find people that will like you for who you are. Someone that doesn't know you as Hopeless Peaches. I said this before, but you're absolutely broken as a person, and you don't know how to treat people well because of it.
Here. Right here. This is the moment Spoctor's career should have ended. He calls a person who is emotionally struggling, who had been harassed by thousands of people, broken. Uses the background visuals from her video about being groomed, all while saying she has trouble managing her relationships.
Yeah,
no one
see,
jumped at this. No one
hair.
voiced an issue with it. This video was allegedly made to continue to humanize Peaches, when it's clearly obvious that the intent was quite the opposite. And shame on literally any of you that thought this was a good video, or an okay video, or a video acceptable for anything other than derision and mockery. This video was never properly torn apart for the disgusting garbage said in it. I've seen some of you commenting on that video. I know what you've said, and before one of you comes at me and says you just listen to the audio, you're not exempt either. I know there are artists that listen to my content as they draw. I'm aware of that, so my longer content with calls is formatted in a way that you don't need to look at the screen. But that's not the case here. In this video, with his voice and full chest, Spoctor says this.
You, Peaches, need to stop using your platform as a venting ground. Start treating
Look
it like
with your
a
stream
brand. How you're going
queue.
about this is irresponsible
That
at the least and
starts.
idiotic at the most. It's not what you should be doing with your platform. She's openly expressed her unhappiness with her portrayal.
I'll try to watch once I'm done with my stream.
Output so much emotional torment. It will cause you so many issues overall. It'll do more harm than good because there's thousands of people who might see that and twist it and get the wrong idea. I don't want to assume that you were suicide baiting, but I also want you to know that it's fucked up for the people around you to make them worry like that, to spread pain and fear like that, despite if you're planning on going through with it or not. And I know that might be a controversial opinion because it's very unpopular, but that's my personal beliefs.
At this time, Peaches had essentially nobody behind her. No one to support her properly behind the scenes. Spoctor knew this because he was in a group chat with the deranged lunatics that were attacking her at the time. Yes, Spoctor, I know about that group. Among other things, you'd be surprised how many people would be willing to tell on you. So this waste of human reproductive material literally says to someone with no backing, no support, that she should keep her ideation to herself instead of asking for help in the only way she could at the time. And he knew she was struggling with this issue because Manga Common told him, right here in this screenshot. But oh no, don't voice your issues, that may upset people. Meanwhile, you'll voice yours all the time, won't you, doofus?
When these people compare these extremely multifaceted situations to another, quote, Spoctor situation, I just fucking laugh, because it feels like none of you really
Okay. Oop. Oh, I got lost a little bit. I'm sorry.
It's yours all the time, won't you, doofus?
When these people compare these extremely...
Okay. I think the thing that I'm like, okay, so I know I know the reason Spoctor's no longer on the internet as a YouTuber anymore. Does this video go into it, or is it just like addressing just fucking Spoctor like just attacking other people? Excuse me. I'm like wondering, like I'm told like, oh, Spoctor did this specific thing, and then okay, thank you, Lamater, thank you, I appreciate you guys to let me know. I just like I'm like, it's like the anticipation, you know, it's like, okay, I know this is how, like, I know this is the ball drops here with this specific thing, but I'm like, when does it drop? When do I get to know when it actually happens? When is it not just like petty drama and actual like terrible shit you done?
multifaceted situations to another, quote, Spoctor situation, I just fucking laugh, because it feels like none of you really understand why that situation even happened. I got away with being a shithead for 2 years because 3 creators decided to accuse me of the wrong...
Okay, let me see. Spoctor's broken videos. Okay, is this Peach's Spoctor called the same one that we okay, this is the first call, so this one is the one that we saw in Jar's video, probably. I'll watch it. I want to cook you guys content. I want to cook you guys.
Based on false accusations. So was Peaches. It's a simple comparison.
Thank you, guys.
If you're not smart enough to recognize that, then you shouldn't be trusted to be the town dog catcher, much less a channel with 300,000 plus subs. One day, we're going to talk about all the nonsense that happened during all of that. It's going to be thorough, ugly, and painful. Like cleaning out a heavily infected leg sore. But suffice it to say that I'm tired of people only focusing on these clowns that have been responsible for this after they hurt someone else. You all should have dealt with them then when they showed their true colors during the Peaches saga. But let's continue taking a look at Spoctor's video lamenting how this community is falling apart, where he talks about friends of his that have been cancelled.
Chaos55T is in the same boat as Junkie.
Hey Spoctor, why didn't you mention what Chaos did? You did for everyone else save Stories and Pentagrin for the obvious reason. Why didn't you mention that they lied about Jar causing someone to remove themselves from the census? In other words, a false allegation. There's also the fact that she was exposed for even worse acts after this video dropped. So why not mention the lies? Oh, wait. Because it completely destroys the point I listed earlier where you're mad about people comparing your situation to others. On top of that, I have a feeling you still want to be friends with some of these people. I wonder why.
History that dates back to some of the darkest days of my life. One of the longest lasting dark periods of my life.
Remember this. We'll come back to it. Seriously, keep it in mind.
And I've always been kind of personally wary of Kai, myself, so...
I just don't believe you. You had no problem communicating with these people during Peach's drama. You had zero desire to combat the lies you knew they were all telling. And yes, we will get to that. So don't sit there and try to sell people on the idea that you always knew something was off about them.
Well, losers beat their partners. That's who beats their partner. Fucking losers do.
True. 100% agreement there. Question though, Spoctor, what type of person keeps a USB drive of smut of a minor? I didn't stutter.
Okay. No, we got there. Alright. We didn't skip. Alright. Let's turn this down.
You heard me. This is when Spoctor goes into Heaton's video. Heaton, who was lied about by Junkie, who lost all of her friends because of Junkie, who had to work years to clear her name and rebuild her reputation because your friend lied to people. And what was your response to her justified anger?
You wonder why people are trying to ruin one another in this community. It's because of this mindset that anger and wrath wins. Oh boy, you lied to people. To the gulag you go! Forget the good you did for people. Forget the fact that you basically built the foundation of my channel and helped me get on my feet, Junkie. You lied about people, and someone decided to out you for it. It's time to crucify you and make you walk on eggshells.
This is a dishonest attempt to downplay the damage Junkie had done to people. To Heaton, to Manga Common, to Peaches, to everyone. And this is intentional. He had to watch those videos to use them here, to address their points. This is him intentionally underplaying what Junkie has done. And I've been saying this a lot, but put a pin in that.
Your disingenuous, half-hearted, slimy, bitch boy apology.
That's no way to treat people on a platform. Even if they've angered you, that aggression only serves to progress the issue. The amount of stress that you're putting on yourself by basically forcing yourself to get involved with that much wrath is not worth the outcome.
Chump, watch me. I don't know where this weak, pathetic, pusillanimous mentality of be super nice all the time, even when you're dealing with a scumbag, for you people took root, but it needs to be killed. Especially when so much of it tends to be Hollywood smiles while you say horrendous things about the people you're talking about. Tell me if I need an exterminator, an exorcist, or the Punisher, and we'll get this done. It's true that some people put that level of anger into the wrong thing in this community, but you tone policing Heaton when they are justifiably angry during a period in their life when they had no one isn't just scummy, it's evil. You duplicitous piece of gutter trash.
It's another to cover shit that deals with your personal life. It's another to air your dirty laundry to an audience in a format that comes off uncalculated and disorganized.
Anyone who has actually seen that video knows you're lying here. And trying to play make-believe that people force themselves into this makes me wonder if you actually recognize emotions for anything other than manipulation. Earlier in this video, you went on about how mad others made you when they simply talk trash. But here you are trying to tut-tut someone for being direct at how much they dislike your scumbag friend.
Basically, he told a bunch of mini white lies about people. Something like, he gave people permission to share certain DMs in a video, and then immediately lied about it when it got him in trouble.
You absolutely are defending Junkie here. It's why you're downplaying his actions by calling them mini white lies. I don't need to get into the weeds about all of that, since Heaton already did when they responded, so go check that out when you can.
Own yourself, dude.
Okay.
Own what you are and who you are.
Alright, we'll see how well you apply this to yourself in the future. Let's get into the last bit of this video we're going to cover until we get to the end.
Yes, I'm genuinely innocent of the shit that the people accused me of, but if the shit that came out about me back in 2018 was more along the lines of what Junkie is being outed for right now, I would not have any ground to stand on. The people in that community put that pedo label on me, the people that love to manipulate, yell, and deceive. So when people come at me, and come and try and criticize me for not entirely defending Peaches because I've, quote, been through something similar, I really haven't. Because you weren't being called a predator.
Firstly, yes, she was. Plenty of people compared her to Mini-Lad, or told her that her grooming was fake, or that they felt bad for her groomer. Yes, Spoctor, hers isn't one-to-one with yours. Yours didn't have anywhere near the reach hers did, and you had—
Well, Glyo. Well, alright, we all know what happened with that.
On her to save you. None of the videos on you got anywhere near as big as the ones on her, one of which is sitting around 1 million views. And over what? Accusations of being a bad friend? Other nonsense cobbled together to make offense? You're right, Spoctor. They're not the same. And there you were, choosing not to do better, not to properly use your channel size to help with a situation you knew was wrong. Not only that, but you do an entire video about leaving this community and spend the majority of it dunking on a 16-year-old girl that was uncharitable to you. A girl with what, 1,000 subs? Look, I'm absolutely a these hands are rated E for everyone kind of guy, but if a kid's wrong about you, talk to them. Or just leave them alone, because they're kids. That's what a sensible person would do. But you're not sensible, are you? Instead, you use Lin in her video as a shield so you can try and avoid Heaton's response to you. What terrifies me is that you have the right to vote. What's the matter, champ? The Weeb MB have too much fire for you? Were you scared of a 5K channel at the time? It wouldn't surprise me. Those of you that have watched Jar's video on all this by now know that Peaches wanted to talk to Spoctor about his videos on her. He was told he was going to be in the call, when it was, the whole shebang. He was given weeks to prepare. And what did he do? Acted like a clown, ran his mouth, spammed the mic, and dipped. Spoctor, I'm a cartoon and toy reviewer. You could have just told Peaches if you were scared of me, especially considering I wound up revealing that 2 of your friends were deranged clowns. Spoctor, I can't manifest evil into someone. I can only talk about what they show me, and you showed me plenty. But it didn't end there. Nope. You see, after he embarrassed himself in that call, he finally chose to hop into Senate. I was asleep at the time because I have this odd thing called a job to attend so I can support my family. Part of me wants to think that he waited until I was asleep. So guess what, artists? That's right, feeding time! Here's the call that was had.
Like, show that they're muted with a little mute button, thank you.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, so tech, it's just gonna be like me, the mods, and you talking, I guess, like no one else. And then if anyone gets dogpiled, just like we're gonna server mute everybody, I guess.
And Lio is not gonna be here; he's asleep right now, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
I'll be his replacement.
Thank you, Sarah. Alright, so are you calm now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry about that.
yeah, it.
Oh no, not 1 HP
fine,
voice!
I guess.
No!
So we're able to have a proper talk now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this looks way better now.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I know I was fucking struggling with the proportions of this thing. Oh my god. I really miss having AutoCAD to like pre-spec out layouts. Only had the money. Anyways, back to this.
I'm gonna try and go through this a bit quicker because it is 4:30 in the morning for me.
Sure.
And
that is the fakest
so
fucking life
I'm
ever
just gonna
occurred.
cut to the chase with everything else.
All right.
Because I know that you don't want to talk about the Linlin stuff, and you don't want to talk about the DID video. That's fine. I'm not going to talk about Heaton stuff. Heaton can speak for herself. So I'm just going to go straight to the video that you made on me.
Alright.
Because this isn't to dogpile you.
Okay.
This was literally so I could talk to you, because it has affected me for a while, and I just want closure, man.
Alright, I understand. Yeah.
But are you...
I know how that feels. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm good now.
Okay.
I promise.
Alright, so, first and foremost, just to ask properly, I know that you vaguely said it in DMs, but I saw that you took the thumbnail down. Like, what made you do that?
I felt like I should have. I know it was something that you kind of spoke about passively, and I've seen you comment about it on videos, so I just decided to take it off.
Mm-hmm. Like...
There's no other reason other than that. I just was trying to be courteous.
Yeah, I was just wondering why it took nearly 2 years for that to happen, to be honest.
Well... That, you know, when you have a lot of realizations, you just, you kind of just try to go for the changes.
Was there any particular event that caused you to do that, or was it just a sudden realization?
It was. Well, I mean, alongside all the other stuff that was happening around me, I decided, yeah, if I'm gonna leave commentary, I might as well clean up some of the things that, you know, in hindsight, I should have when I was doing it. So, yeah, I'll leave with a little bit of grace, at least.
Mm-hmm. So, if you had that kind of epiphany, I guess I gotta ask the new question now of...
Yes.
Why you thought that I'd be smearing you for lies and that I was just trying to drag you.
That's a complicated question to answer.
If you could answer it, that would very much help me understand the call that we had earlier.
I was just afraid.
It's alright to be afraid, but, like, you gotta understand that
no,
if you've...
I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're getting at. What happened, and I apologize, but, you know,
okay,
I can't really take it back.
There's some details in there, like in that call, because I heard it. You said you're afraid, like, not so much as, you know, there because you ran off, but one of the main things in there that I found to be a little bit concerning was, you said, I've heard terrible things, you know, about you, you know, and Lio, like Peach's Lio. What did you mean by that? Like, what things are you talking about?
I hear that you invite people into the Senate in front of a bunch of audiences and then talk to them about it. And, you know, just kind of talk about these very private situations in front of a large amount of people like you're doing to me right now.
Well, first and foremost, and I'll be blunt right now, nothing that's spoken here is ever private matters. It's usually things that have been brought to the public, so that's already out. Second, you've proven to me that you're not trusted in a private call. You're the type of person, which is why these kind of calls exist. Like,
Yeah,
and you're not,
that was a one-off thing. I've never done that before.
Well, it's good to say one-off, but that was the first call I've had with you. Like, being able to have a proper conversation, and that's how you treat me. And as you can see,
I know,
everyone here...
I apologize.
Yeah, and as you can see, everyone here is muted. And no one's gonna mute, because if anyone unmutes to say anything stupid, they get...
I don't know Fox Mafia. I'm not familiar with it. This does feel like like you're the fucking gulag. Like, why'd you like have these many fucking people be involved in a call like this? Like, just have like 2 other people. You're worried about getting like
Server
bullied.
mute for 24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute
They're
them all.
done.
Okay.
This is literally because of, well, I can't even say hypothetical because of what happened before. And that's what a lot of people do, but it's never about private matters. If I had a private matter with you that was never public, you wouldn't be here. This is about a public video that you made. So if hundreds of thousands of people can watch your video, I'm sure that like 15 people can sit and listen to this call, right?
That's okay. I have a question too. It's nothing bad or anything, I promise. So I'm pretty sure when I think about it, I think that was gonna happen to me too when I joined, which is obviously okay. I mean, if it did happen, I wouldn't have thrown a fit or anything. I would have been like, okay, and I would have sat here and I would have talked to you normally. But was there like a reason why it had to be like a big call for me as well, or no?
That was more because I didn't really know your intentions, and due to Spoctor coming into a call before, acting like he'd be fine, to then just mic spam and freak out. That was more of the reason why. Otherwise, in conversations with someone like you, I would usually just talk to you privately.
Okay, that's just my only question about that.
I'll go ahead and point out another thing before you continue, Peaches. So the whole thing about bringing it in here, Spoctor, if you're afraid about saying like certain things like this, you know, or at least concerning things like this publicly,
it's not so much. It's more so just the notion of an audience, and it's just like, I don't know. It's a little different.
Then leave, dude. You did the first time. Just leave.
This is what I'm gonna get at here for you. If you're afraid to say things in front of an audience, like I get it, like, you know, speech sucks. Being in front of an audience sucks. I already don't understand that, but I got used to it pretty quick. If you're afraid to say things in regards to subjects like these, your points were probably not good to begin with. If you have to keep it private, like,
are you assuming that's what this was, or are you just saying that generally?
No, I mean, he does have a point, Tech.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Like, you gotta, it's more about growing a spine in case.
Oh my god, please mute the.
Oh
my god.
To talk about these things.
Okay,
in such a way, you know,
people need to learn Discord discipline when they're streaming or recording something. Fucking mute the join, mute all that. Just mute it. The audio sounds fucking good. Please, for the love of God, I'm begging you.
In places like here, if you get what I mean, right?
Okay. Dude, this is fucking.
I'm not gonna be afraid to talk about the
So
stuff that I had with other people. Like, I guess you could say in quote private, because I have legs to stand on. I have nothing to be afraid of. But when I heard that call earlier, like, I got a lot of like disingenuous, you know, feelings for how you acted in there, and the way that you came.
If I'm missing anything, I know I'm missing a fountain.
You got to get the legs to stand on.
And the hookah.
Yeah, no, I know I don't like explain things in the best way. Lion knows, everybody here knows. You got to work on that. You really do.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I mean, I would have had to work on that if I wasn't quitting commentary, but yeah.
Well, this is a situation. This is a situation where you have been in commentary. This isn't a situation where, oh, you're brand new to all of this.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a public video. Whether I do this here or whether we do a back and forth response. Like, I would rather do it where I can talk to you proper. But again, Spoctor, when I tried to talk to you before, you mic spammed and dipped. Like, and there's no one to be afraid of here. You've got fucking Jar in the call sitting around. We all take the piss out of Jar. No one listens to Jar. and Jar's fine. Why do I always pick on Jar? I'm sorry, Jar. You're just right there.
No. No, pick on Jar. He sucks. Pick on Jar. He sucks.
I've used Jar like 3 times to take the piss out of him, and this is called. That's fine.
Yeah,
anyway.
How long have you been doing commentary, Spoctor?
Too long, like 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, you aren't brand new to this. You've been at this for quite some time, and I know you said you quit, but you know how it's like.
Sorry, the name.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, please.
Sorry.
Like, you know.
I mean, do I really expect maturity out of the age regression person?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we can get past that part, so now that you know why we do that, I want to go into basically what your goal was with the video you made on me.
What do you mean?
Well, essentially, you made your video on me, your first video, and you already had a lot of, you didn't have like everything at that point, but you had a substantial amount of screenshots I sent you and another side, and then you had fucking Creepshow Art, Prison Mate Luke, all that lot who were on the other side who, Creepshow had fucking nothing, she never did, Prison Mate Luke who fucking either can't read, or whatever, and then you had Omnia who thought that they were slick by going, oh, I'm not going to share screenshots, but let me just blur out literally half the conversation because that's substantial proof. But when I sent you stuff, you just said, well, do I need to really bring it up? Like, mentioning how, you know, it was
No,
just
I
PR,
fucked up
that it was all just business. And then when I came to you another time asking you, like, in February, because I wanted to clarify with something that Shannon was saying, I literally come to you asking, you know, like, could I ask you something privately? And immediately you're like, I'm currently on other topics. I don't intend on revisiting any stuff with you. Just like immediate shutdown when that wasn't my intent. It just seemed very strange. And then you turned around and basically said that Shannon was showing you substantial proof, which, let's be honest, if she did have substantial proof, she would have shown it. It felt more like a lie or some kind of thing. So I just want to know what the point of your first video was, like, genuinely. Like,
just to share my thoughts.
Like, were they your thoughts, though? Or were they
It was
your
my
friend's
analysis of everything, but yeah.
So, when you say, I apologize if the video didn't exactly hit the mark, I'm sure it wouldn't, haha, but I had to pull strings for the sake of PR, simply because you can't just up and say Peach is not bad. You gotta show them the rails. And you're not bad, just give this video a few days, see how people take it. And then you continue saying, I wasn't trying to dogpile, and then I say, because at this point I already knew what you were saying, it wouldn't be good branding to be nice to me, and you say, yeah, it's all business in the end.
I mean...
Okay, chat, I'm putting this to 2x speed, and then we'll stop when it gets to stuff that we fucking care about. I'm sorry. This is just...
And not only that, but I rewatched the videos as well, even just today. To
don't fucking care about Peaches, she sucks.
And you said things that directly went against what I showed you, like, screenshot-wise. Like, you already knew wasn't true.
That's hard to remember that
I
far
made
back.
a fountain!
For instance, you said a few things with Camila Cuevas, basically saying, essentially with the, if you fell out about the credit, you should have still been friends with her afterwards, despite me showing you that I got harassed by her. That was sent to you beforehand. The fact that I tried to apologize to her multiple times, that was sent to you, and that was not mentioned either. But essentially, you were just trying to frame it in a way that I have to say, if you didn't have those screenshots, that'd be one thing, and I'd take it as like that would be your perspective from what you'd seen. But
should have
if
saved before I did that.
Harassing me clearly,
that was a dumb move.
Oh, Peach is bad because she's just cutting off someone for no reason. And then with Creep Show Art, I showed you screenshots as well, which showed that she was either, well, let's cut to the fucking chase because we know who she is now. She was just fucking lying, and I showed you proof that she was lying about stuff, like literally just stuff that directly contradicted stuff, and you didn't even consider that at all. Like your section of her section, the most you said was she was a little emotional in her video. You never said anything to do with, you know, the fact that she could be lying at all, despite knowing that.
I'm trying to recall things, but I think that lines up.
Because because this isn't a case where I'm trying to catch you out, man. Like the catching out would have been the fucking messages of OPR and all that crap. What I'm asking is like why? Because I would rather have I'd rather be honest and say, oh, I didn't care, or oh, well, I'm friends with them, or any other.
Want me to be honest?
I would much rather you be honest because that's why I'm asking.
I mean,
you.
I guess like I said in the last call, I do have nothing to lose. I just it's a combination of like, oh, it's like not really super directly related to my life, and also I know Creepshow a little bit better than I knew you at the time, so I would take a buddy's word over yours.
Would you take a friend's word over literal proof?
Oh, okay.
Friend, I like to hold their value.
No, you're not being rude, Olivia. Oh no, it crashed. It's crashing on me. No, okay. I'm still new to 3D modeling, so if you have something a better technique, let me know.
It's just kind of how I operate.
So,
I'm just like, why does it look so pickly?
If you wanted to sit there and
yeah, that's it.
Derogatory as possible, because more because I'm so sick of it wasn't just you, but other people did the same thing, sucking Shannon off. Shall we just say it bluntly as possible? If you wanted to do that,
looks like ass.
that's
God damn it.
perfectly fine. If you wanted to go off in her DMs and go, yeah, Shannon, you're fucking great. It's a whole other thing to go and lie to me, lie to Carmen, and lie to your audience.
Lie to what?
Well, okay, we'll break it down. You lied to me. You said that you wanted to come and see my side. But you'd say right now, you didn't care that much. So
okay.
Okay, I'll just control Z back.
Bullshit, you know, like I think things can be resolved a lot of the time.
Because you didn't do anything to resolve it.
I tried.
Doing a PR thing, doing what you did, didn't resolve anything.
Well,
and then you dismissed me when I was upset about it.
There you go.
I think at this point, Tech knows what he did was wrong.
I'm gonna save again.
I think just an apology and then ending it would be good.
Well, I would rather have a proper conversation because this
what
is.
What are we going to talk about? Like, I fucked up.
I mean, it's more or less like a lot of the why. Like, it's a lot of strange things. Like, you know, we could talk about lying and doing all sorts of these things, but a lot of it is just the why, and Peach just wants to know why because it's just utterly ridiculous.
I didn't give it as much attention as I should have. That's about pretty much what it boiled down to.
Yeah, and that's the tip of the iceberg, my friend. Because many times at 5:55, you say using mental health is a yikes moment. At 8:05, you say that prison mate Luke's claim that I'm suicide baiting was just a simple assumption of suicide baiting. And then at 10:02, you say I don't want to assume you were suicide baiting, but it's fucked up for the people around you to make them worry like that, whether you intend to go through with it or not. At 11:0, you say, I would argue she's just being over-emotional. This is in relation to me being called a suicide beta. At 11:50, you say, and then she's overreacting when she noticed a sub drop in relation to me being called a suicide beta, trying to tell your audience that the only reason I cared about.
Okay. So, when you mean select, select derp. Select. Let me see, where is it? Do I need it? Sorry, smart chat. Let me see. Select. There it is. There it is. Okay, so I guess I go A, and then I do select sharp edges. Right? Okay, let's go back.
That was because I was having a sub drop, and not because I had people saying I'm suicide baiting. At 14:26, while showing.
I know, I got it. It took me a second.
Attempting my own life. You say she's just unable to handle what's given to her. And then at 15:57, go out there and then she can't just go out there and act like she's having an anxiety attack every fucking time she gets criticized. And then, after that, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
Why did you make those fucking jabs at my grooming?
Jabs at your grooming?
At 2:12, using the video of my grooming, which obviously I was 13.
Look, I probably shouldn't have used it. I know that. And I honestly just wasn't thinking. I didn't really make the correlation between that video and the possible implications of how you did it.
Okay, now I use
It's just
sharp
genuinely a
edges
mistake on
to
my end
select.
You
to-
said that I was intensely
Sorry,
bad
Olivia.
relationship management and emotional management while using the fact that I was groomed as a child as
Okay, hold
proof
on.
of that.
It was just
Okay.
visual
Spoctor,
imagery on the video.
Spoctor, so you're admitting that it's a mistake, but it's more of like, but why did you do those things? Yeah, you can. We recognize
Because
like,
it
you're
was
saying
visual
it's-
imagery I thought would fit the words that I was saying.
What do you? Okay, I'm going to. Oh, okay. If you want to say that.
Not because it's associated with your grooming, but because the image that was on screen was that of your character in a very upset-looking state. And I
So we're
thought that
doing the
was a-
same. So we're doing the
Okay.
same fucking
Thank you,
bullshit that
Olivia.
Olivia said as well. Because I'm not having that.
I'll just
Sorry,
save it
Spoctor,
for
I'm
now.
not.
I'll move
Because
on
you
to
said
the
the
I'm
same.
sorry, but that's all I'm going to give you. That's really
I'm
the only
sorry.
reason that I have
No,
for it.
because what I'm going to say is to you, Spoctor, that I saw a pattern, and I'm sorry to mention your DID video, but I'm going to have to.
Okay.
Because you used the same kind of reasoning for people with dissociative identity disorder and CPTSD in general to have bad relationship management. You mentioned in your video that people with those kind of trauma will eventually have aspects of their abuser as part of their personality. You also
Oh.
called me broken, while also again showing my grooming video as a visual representation of that.
That's
and then
fucked
in your
up.
DID video, you
Why
said
the
people
fuck
with
would you
trauma are
say
generally
that?
broken. It feels less like just random imagery and more like what you said to me, which was when you said that you used my grooming as a way to humanize me.
That's a stretch. What?
You're gonna mess up so bad.
Yeah, go ahead, James.
Okay. So Tech's DID video wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, but I did help with it a little bit because when some of the stuff that he was trying to say, there was a lot of information compacted into a tiny video. I know it was 30 minutes long, but it was still a lot. And to say that to have your users incorporate into your personality, that's not exactly what I think was going for, because what I was talking about was that when you have interjects, the most common type of interject isn't interjects of Minecraft YouTubers or whatever, it's most commonly interjects of users. It's not going to say that it will happen all the time. You'll not always have an interject of your user, but it is most common than fictives or whatever. That's what that was about.
My more point is that this is kind of been proven to not just be like a random coinky dink. This wasn't a case of you accidentally downloading my grooming video, accidentally having it fall into your video editor, and accidentally fall into those very specific places where accidentally it would come across as just fitting enough of what you were saying in your script to line up with bad relationship management, grooming, broken grooming, and nowhere else in the video was that shown.
What was the... Oh, I'm sorry, I just never seen the videos. You don't have to answer if it's too personal. I just want to know what was on the screen. If that's too personal, you don't have to tell me.
It's just the video where I was talking about being groomed as a kid.
It was like a PNG art.
No, but
that was inside the video.
you know what the video was, and you were also saying I've got bad relationship management, and that is when you used it. Nowhere else.
What do you want me to say to that?
I want you to know how disgusting that is, Spoctor.
Well, why is it disgusting?
How do you not understand that?
I don't understand.
Do you need to explain to you just one more time? I'm not being insulting, by the way.
It's okay if I explain it, because I'm someone that's like close to Spoctor and it might be easier if I explain it. If that's okay. Someone, I agree with you. I just want to try to explain it. If that's okay.
Yeah,
Go
please do.
Okay.
I do not
the
know
issue
Kairos.
is that when trying to explain how... I'm sorry, I've really been mentioning to look at your name one more time. Your name is Peaches, right? Sorry.
Yeah, yours.
Okay. So Peaches was talking about... What are your pronouns? Let me check real quick. She or her?
She, yeah.
Okay, so she was talking about how her grooming... was talking about her grooming, and you decided to put that on the screen while saying something negative, or just talking about... It's just not in good taste to bring up someone's grooming in a video and then have that be something to back up how negative they're being. I know your intention wasn't to, like, bring up the grooming itself.
No,
Your
I
intention was
wouldn't want
something
to. Yeah.
No, that wasn't your intention, but it still comes off that way, regardless of your intention. It still happened. It's like if you murder someone, well, you know, you still murdered them. That's obviously... Sorry, I'm really terrible explaining. But do you understand how this is not good?
Yeah.
I think you should...
It was just...
Guys, but...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, the video... I did end up taking the video down after that last call we had because I just kind of went...
And if she doesn't want to forgive you, that's also...
Yeah, no, it's...
Talk about something else.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I've had a problem with is that the fact that you knew to some extent that you had upset me and you did wrong me and you didn't even want to give me a chance to talk to you about it.
I know why that happened as well. It doesn't excuse it. It was just that a lot of stress was building up. I know it doesn't excuse it, but I think Tech, instead of saying some kind of excuse, I think you should also apologize for that as well.
Yeah, I just got busy. Sorry.
Could you be unbusy for a second?
Yes, yes, you can.
You gotta be direct here, Spoctor.
Yeah. Wait, what are you looking for?
Are you paying attention?
Sorry, what?
I'm getting. Okay, that's no, it's fine because I'll talk to Spoctor one-on-one now. Spoctor, I don't know what you're going through right now, and I'm not here to try and worsen that. That's why I'm making sure that that your sister's here, and that's why I mentioned before.
Oh, okay, it is a sister. Okay, okay.
If him muting means that he's gone now or whatever, but I will wait.
It's okay, Olivia.
Okay, let's do
I appreciate helps with take your time.
Okay. Can you hold on? Oh, brain cells.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Don't worry about it. I'm good. So he's listening, so Peaches, just go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm good.
Oh my
okay.
god. BBD girlies, please.
I'm not here to be malicious, but I'm also not going to sugarcoat things I say because I'm genuinely pissed off. Because I tried to talk to you before, and I've heard why you did it, and I don't need it repeated. That you wanted to say that you just wanted to mess around with me, that you just wanted to scorch earth it. And if you want to do that to people who fucking troll you or whatever the fuck, you go ahead. You slay king. But not when you're talking to me.
No, I know. I shouldn't do that.
Okay. Someone, please. Can I skip the rest of this? Is it just, Hopeless Peaches whinging at Spoctor for the rest of this? Cause this is just fucking miserable. It's just I do not care. What does this have to do with the shit that he actually did? I'll just play into so lets me know if I can actually skip this. I'm just gonna put it it is on 2x speed. This thing is fucking slow. Jesus Christ.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I should have done that. I'm sorry.
I'm just here for the fucking
also,
Gundam right now.
You knew why you were in there. You were mic spamming. You were acting pretty shitty to my dad, not gonna lie. Saying that he's
oh
just
god, no, don't
he's
see your
just a
dad.
terrible person. You don't want to listen to anything. If you didn't want him there, you could have said.
Second kitty.
Because he was being respectful to let me talk. And
another fighting.
If you didn't want him there, he could just leave.
Hey,
I told you why he was there.
Yes, I know.
And
don't fight.
If it was going to make you uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, Lyle's not the one who wanted to speak to you, it was me. And I genuinely find it disgusting. Sorry to say, but not really. That every interaction I've had with you really has just been disrespect after disrespect. Because I'm not someone to use fucking PR points. I'm not someone to use when you want to make a video during fucking December to get, I don't know whether it's for extra revenue.
Okay.
Popping off, or because you wanted to help.
I'm just skipping to the next call. I'm sorry, guys. This is fucking terrible and not fun. And I'm waiting for the video to figure itself out. Oh no.
Did you pay attention? Because I sure did. In that call, he admits that he had the evidence that Shannon was lying. He knew this was bogus. But he kept it up because he wants to maintain the value of his friends. Right. So you take a person that you know is vulnerable, and you toss them to the wolves so you can get in with a friend group of large creators. You're a social climbing, morally bankrupt pile of festering, diseased filth. And don't think I missed how nonchalant and dismissive you were in that call, even to your adopted sibling. You don't care about what you've done. You were more worried that the initial call was going to get out and embarrass you. It's why you asked someone else to relate to Peaches and I your request to not have that recording in her video, which we stuck to. It's in Jar's video instead. Of course, it didn't end there, did it? The very next morning, you took to Twitter and made the most tasteless apology to Peaches. This is after, of course, you lied to other creators about what happened in Senate. You told these people you were dogpiled. Tell me, viewers, did any of you actually hear dogpiling there? Because I sure didn't, and these creators, who foolishly believed you carte blanche, ran defense for you on Twitter, like you wanted them to. You guys were played.
I mean, it was
wonder,
cringe.
Did they listen to the call when we passed it to them? And did they hold you accountable for any of the lies you told them? I doubt it, but that's a topic for a different time. And those of you who know I'm talking about you, my DMs are genuinely open to discuss it. No Senate call, no exposed, just a conversation about how you can avoid this in the future. Because for the future, you need to be more critical of your colleagues and friends. The old saying is trust but verify. If you're not holding your friends accountable, if you're not correcting them, if you're not making sure you do your own due diligence, then you're not really a friend. Friends care enough to correct behavior like this. Playing like everything is Pollyanna to avoid conflict because it makes you uncomfortable isn't a service to anyone. That mentality breeds the worst of people. Like this. Toughen up. That's gotta be it though, right? What he's done is garbage, but that's the worst. Right? Right? Oh lord, I wish it was. But of course I can't be allowed to simply smack around a stupid clown. It's gotta be darker than that. On the 3rd of April this year, I had someone approach me with a video recording. They said they had been holding on to this call for 3 years and the guilt was getting to them. So they handed it to me. This isn't the entirety of the call, as the first 9 minutes of them was them sending links and talking about a bunch of other stuff not related. In this call, Spoctor is brought in to discuss a video that was made on him called New Spoctor Accusations. It's alleging Spoctor's abuse of a partner. This call was never supposed to see the light of day. You're about to hear why.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What the fuck are you guys not? What are you getting at here?
I don't know what I'm getting at. But like I do kind of know what I'm getting at.
What?
Just something that's bothering me.
What's bothering you, dude?
Like you've known this girl for a while.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and like very early on, you would like I think we all first started talking to Spooter when she was like 12.
12, 13, yeah.
12, 13.
Yes. Oh, I see what this is about. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I want to know like the full story, basically.
You want to know the full? Is that all this is about?
Yeah,
Because
that's it.
I really don't want this getting out because it's just a bunch of like shit that I want to move past because it's a mistake I made and I want to be able to move past it.
I know.
And that's all this is because you guys know I'm a stupid fucking idiot and I do horny shit.
Yes.
But I'm not a fucking pedo and I know I'm not a pedo.
So, like, do you care to elaborate on like? Do you guys?
If it's all for personal, if it's only for personal reasons, and you promise me that, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, it's just for personal reasons.
Because okay, so yeah, I was like 16 when we
Mhm.
around that time. She was 13. It's only a 3-year age gap. Her and I, we had a friendship, and we were very close friends. And so naturally, because fucking, how I acted back then, there's this fling that started, right? And so, I mean, I don't know what kind of details you want specifically though.
Like how long?
I'd say about a few, like obviously since I was 16 and it ended when I was 17.
Like a couple years. Well, not a couple years.
No, 1 year.
1 year, yeah, because that's
1
how
year.
math works.
Yeah.
And like, did it get graphic? Anything?
Did it get graphic?
Yes.
Admittedly, yeah, but it's all gone. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to associate with it anymore. It's disgusting shit that even I look back on and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Especially like after I turned 18, I was like, I had the drive. It was like sitting on my counter, and I looked at it and I was like, why do I still fucking have this? Because it was not too long after her and I like we stopped talking.
Yeah. And you guys are not on any of the like. You guys aren't in a fling anymore.
No, we're just on good terms because it's better to be on good terms with someone that hated you.
Yeah. So it just took place between when you were 16 and 17.
And she was 13 and just 2 at 14 and she's 15 now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So now you don't have any involvement with any kind of any of that stuff. Like no.
No minors, no. Fuck no.
Yeah.
No, anybody under the age of 18. Fuck no.
Yeah. All right.
Because I'm 18 now, I gotta be a fucking adult. And honestly, even if they're 17, it's still like, no. No. Besides, as I get older, I start looking back on it and I'm like, I look at my sister and I'm like, she's 15. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My sister is her age and I'm just like, I just want to be able to forget about it,
Yeah.
Being on good terms with her helps me rectify some of that.
Right.
Oh,
Now, this is the person that's sitting there fucking trying to get this information out.
okay. Mentioning your sister at all as like associating with your guilt. Not a good look, man. Good look. Don't mention your sister, please. I get it. You're trying to like have a reference point. Just don't mention the sister, please.
Is my age, and she is just really fucking salty at me for whatever reason.
Like, did you do anything?
Did I do anything with them? I mean, I did, but we're the same age, so there's like nothing wrong with that at all.
There's nothing.
But she accidentally caught feelings, and I had to reject her. She got salty, and then started trying to dig shit up on me.
Sounds like something similar to what I had to go through at one point. I'm gonna be honest. Like, man, the stuff with Spooter.
Yeah.
That's the main stuff that I was concerned about.
Yeah.
If it was just between you guys when you were like 3 years
Minors.
apart. Minors.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like, on one hand, it's not like
the video made it out to be like we're 4 years. We're not 4 years.
Yeah. Not 4 years.
Thank you, Olivia. I'll definitely look at that when I'm done streaming.
So like, what is Ponder saying? She didn't even like let you talk to me.
I thought you do dry weird champ. I thought that was funny. Lorna.
Yesterday, she was reading through the messages that you and her had, and the way it was worded, from what I remember, she made it seem like you were trying to get. It seemed like you were trying to get her to defend you in the future in case it comes out.
Yes, because I'm terrified. That's all honest truth. Yes, because I'm terrified. Because I know the mistakes I've made.
Like, do you want to add anything to that, Because I can't really think of much to add to it because I had to step out of that call constantly.
Yeah. I don't know. I just say be careful. Basically, I'm not like. I'm probably not gonna do anything. To be honest.
You think Ponder's gonna do anything?
I don't think so. Unless like
No.
you make a video about it and like turns into a big old mess.
I don't want to touch it. I want to bury it as
Then you
best I can.
should, as long as like that video that Manus made doesn't go out even further, and no one says anything, because I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna do anything. I looked at it. I'm like, whatever. I'm done with this.
I do want to talk to Ponder though. I want to clear things up.
Alright.
I'll see if I can at some point, but if she'll even respond.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. Because like,
okay.
You know yourself at this.
I mean, yeah, I was trying to get her to keep a lookout because she saved my ass before, and I just needed fucking help because this shit is fucking up in the past, and my dumb mistakes when I was fucking 17, 16 seems to always come back to me.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially now that I'm trying to move on.
Yeah, well, the one thing to note is that we can't always be there to help you with this because I have my own life to worry about.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I just don't want to. The main thing was I didn't want you guys against me. That was my concern.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
We just wanted to talk because we needed to clear things up. Because
That's what I
sure.
wanted.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't want people against me. Because if I make enemies, then they'll fucking put it out there as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Ponder would do that because that's not really in Ponder's nature.
Yeah, Ponder's not gonna like expose video or anything.
Yeah. But I do want to talk to her about it.
I would.
Yeah. Is everything chill?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that
This has
essentially.
been fucking me up all week. You don't understand.
It's the 4th day of fucking 2020, man. God damn it.
It is. I
knew something was up when you asked about
Smooth.
a call and then that.
Yeah, because like I know, like she was involved because back then, with the whole like original accusation, there were like 12 mentions of a 12-year-old, and I was like, are they talking about Scooter?
12-year-old? Fuck no, I don't know who the hell that was.
I don't know what was going on, but yeah, like.
But yeah, when I was a minor, I had a lot of flings with other minors. I mean, I'm stupid like that.
They
But
like
I'm
that?
strictly 18 plus. Okay. That's it. Literally, I ask people like I don't even make friends with minors anymore. Previously established friends are one thing, but I don't make new friends with minors.
Right.
Oh, fucking bullshit, dude. Literally, it's destroyed. I fucking crushed it. I wiped it, I formatted it, and crushed it.
Can you take a picture of it and show us that you did crush it?
I flushed it down. Dude, this was. Do you know this was like ages ago, right?
This was like.
This was ages ago. This was like the beginning of 2019.
Pretty much.
All right then.
So shit.
Yeah, I don't know how it. I don't know
Besides,
how.
even if you ask for pictures, what would I do? I could just take another buy a flash drive and crush it and say, "Oh, here's your proof."
Here's proof, basically.
Yeah.
I could find a lot of ways to just like faking it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
hoping.
He says he destroyed it, but we don't know.
A lot of times.
I'll take his word for it.
What about him?
The bare ass on Twitter.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I won't pull a stunt like that.
No, we know you're not that stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, they're talking about PK Russell.
PK's on his own level, I guess.
Yes, I knew this. Aha,
he's distracted.
aha, I know that reference. Captain Mirror, like I know that reference. Yes, okay, I know where. Okay, I know when this happened. Okay. Sorry.
Basically.
Yeah, I'll talk to Ponder. I have a friend over right now, so I had to put it on hold.
Freaking stay safe, man. Like,
Please.
I don't.
We don't want another 2018, okay?
Hi, Star Sprinter. Sorry, I was like.
2018 or was it? Oh, was it?
I was thinking, and I didn't see your name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, shit.
Freaking May.
Thank you for coming by.
It's okay. If something happens, I won't fucking fold over like I did last time.
Okay. All right. Well, we just wanted to clear that up real quick, so be sure to let Ponder know and everything, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm such a
Bye.
boomer. I'm like, alright, I get the reference. Bye.
Some people will find some catharsis in this call. I don't. It's never a good thing to learn that someone has done something like this. It can seem so in the sense that they need to be exposed, but situations like this happening means there's a victim. And that's never okay. I don't take any joy in this call being in my possession, but I understand why it was passed to me specifically. And while it's likely true that Spooter's intent against Spoctor is malicious, it doesn't change what Spoctor admits to here. Spoctor admits to having the spicy material of a 13-year-old on a USB drive well past his 18th birthday, sometime between the 18th of April 2019 and September 13th of 2019. Forget asking why he saved it at all. The fact that he waited until after he was a legal adult to destroy it is enough of a problem. Not to mention that he treated it like a joke. You'll just buy another drive and break it, right, Sport? He started a relationship with this person either when they were 12 or 13. They're conflicting on that, and I have no way of currently contacting this person. I know kids are going to trade this stuff with each other. They shouldn't, but they do. And if you're a child and you have done stuff like this, knock it off. The problem here is that Spoctor saved it and kept it until well past adulthood. This is disgusting behavior. Remember when I said to put a pin in it on the junkie stuff and his paranoia about his drama? That's because of this.
That's cool.
You want to know why I think Spoctor defended Junkie's immoral actions to the hilt? I don't think it was out of friendship. I think it was out of fear. He knows that Junkie knows. I believe this was an attempt to placate Junkie. It's not like that's beyond him. He admitted in the call that he was placating the person that was after him for his own benefit. And speaking of which, if you're the person he's referring to, you're welcome to come to Senate so we can talk. My DMs are open to you. In this call, you'll also hear him mention Ponder, so I went and talked to her. I needed to see if I could find out what he said to her, since it seemed obvious to me that he wanted to get ahead of this, so she wouldn't come after him. Or maybe he was hoping that she'd defend him. In talking to Ponder, she doesn't really remember what happened in that call, only that it lasted 18 minutes per her Discord logs. And I can understand that. She has a lot to deal with, and only recently started telling people she can't help them. Which is why so many of you dorks come to me now! My presumption is that he likely lied to her in that call, downplayed what he's done, and once again, avoided accountability. This also leads to the fact that Spoctor's freak out during his false call-out now has a new lens to see it through. People may have forgotten, but Spoctor's situation calmed down fairly quickly in relation to other similar events. He was exposed, if I get these dates right, on the 17th of April 2018, and Ponder's video to defend him was released on the 25th of April, where it started to massively calm down. That's 8 days, slightly over a week. And while it would make sense for someone of that age to freak out over false allegations, and it doesn't inherently mean he had done anything, as plenty of people have confessed to things they didn't do while under duress, the fact that he, at the time, had this USB drive makes it clear to me, if no one else, that he was operating under a guilty conscience. A conscience that should be guiltier, especially considering this line in his DID video.
I am a minor, but is it normal for a me, 15, not bodily, to be attracted to 9-year-olds? Not bodily. So you're not 15. You know, the age is different in your brain, but you're not bodily. No, that's just pedophilia.
A person very close to you during all this that helped you on this video confirmed that you did not report this person. You didn't do anything. You made an entire video lambasting a community you claim is full of kids and didn't lift a finger about someone you know can be predatory because you only care about yourself.
Oh no, I know what to talk about this.
Talk more about that video in this.
Oh, that's so much worse. Technically it's easily worse, but you knew about some dark shit. Holy shit, why no one mentioned this? Oh my, it's like, oh, he didn't report a crime. What the fuck?
Video, I am sorry. I don't know much about that stuff. I'm not qualified to cover it, and I find it better to not speak on something I don't have knowledge on if I can help it. That's where I differ from Spoctor in that instance. When you get older, you ponder on the nature of things. I made it clear before that I'm a Christian, and I'm very outspoken about my faith, in the let's take care of the vulnerable way, not the I hate the gays way. One of these subjects is the nature of evil. What is it really? Is it violence? Well, no, violence can be used in a justifiable way, and sometimes it's the only correct moral choice. Is it malice? Also no, because you're going to have malice towards a guy if he harms people needlessly. The list goes on, but Thomas Aquinas argues that the nature of evil is a lack of something, a specific good that should be in a person, or as DC author Grant Morrison put it, the hole in things. Missing things like kindness, compassion, duty, responsibility, passing by someone you know needs help that you can help, and choosing not to. Things like that. Or as James 4:17 says, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do, and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. In cases like Spoctor, the evil he spreads and seems to revel in is this lack of desire to do right by people, to treat them like an object instead of a person. If he was tearing into a predator, I wouldn't care. But this isn't that. He never holds himself accountable, and neither do his friends. For someone with the platform he has, that's horrifying. For the last time, to close this out, let's go back to Spoctor's video on his community falling apart.
It doesn't stop there. I remember running around threatening to make videos on Chinjaretta for like the smallest fucking shit. I can't even remember. I literally forgot what their original name was at the time, but I know it was them. I know it was them. Like, to this day, I'm still embarrassed by that.
No, I don't think you are. Because this petty, stupid behavior is the same thing that got you in trouble recently, and your nonchalant attitude of the wrongs you've knowingly done is what's going to finish you now.
Suddenly I was on my own. Left to bask in who I became, an egocentric asshole.
The sad thing here is that this isn't a past event. This is your future, and one you've made yourself. You've chosen to be an egocentric dickhead. You've chosen to abuse people you knew. You've chosen to try to weasel your way out of accountability towards the people you've hurt. And most importantly, you chose to hold on to the lewds of a child well past your 18th birthday. You held on to that USB drive, and your friends Junkie and Fagos covered for you. No one wants to recognize this because people want to treat their channels as their own safe space to be free from things they don't want to hear, but here's the truth. Power is never a gift, but a responsibility. Your platform is that responsibility if you're going to use it to cover tough subjects or any subject involving people, at least to this degree. Spoctor has never treated it as such. He only treated it as a playground for his own bizarre desires and to feast off the attention it gives him, the people that looked up to him. If any content creator wants to downplay this or still be friends with him after this, all of you need to side-eye them, hard. Because he doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want to change. All he wants to do is come back and keep being a scumbag to everyone he has the power to. He already has new assets in development for some persona called Sphinx. Don't let him. He's harmed too many people, caused too much damage, attacked too many kids, and his unmitigated, atrocious, unhinged actions that he's continued to do behind the scenes is too much for a simple redemption arc. This is a man that's made it clear he'll harm anyone he sees as vulnerable, will buck any accountability over it to either make himself look good or just make some money on the side. This is what happens when a community ignores what's in front of them. This is the darkness behind the user, Spoctor Tech.
Well, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna watch the jar one on my own. And then I'm gonna do like a small video kind of summing up my thoughts and all this. But what we're gonna do next is we're gonna raid into Qstream. Because he's currently gone right now. And he's doing his Fudanari talk. So I'll see. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate everyone who did. I really appreciate everyone who gave me like little kernels of information and like helped me kind of through this with like stuff I don't know. I really appreciate all of you and I want to thank you for that. So I will see you all in Qstream. Have a good day. I'll also see you guys at Do Stream because I'm co